December was a great month at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln, and only a few more 2024 models are left. Hurry in now for up to $4,000 off all remaining 2024 Chevy Tahoes and up to $7,000 off new Chevrolet Silverados with Chevrolet Loyalty. And take up to $2,000 off remaining 2024 Buick Investas. Ask about low interest rates. Save too on Car Bravo pre-owned vehicles. Hurry now, only a few are left at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street, Lincoln. Online at AbernathyChevrolet.com. Do you need help cleaning up after recent storms? Call on Doug Badger and Quality Landscaping Materials. They'll help you get your yard looking like new again. Get those limbs up, those branches up, get that grass cut, get that sidewalk trimmed, get those leaves picked up, blow that grass off the sidewalk. Just call 704-862-0770. Again, 704-862-0770. Quality Landscaping Materials, 355 White Jenkins Road in Bessemer City. Online at qualitylandscapematerials.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
Country Countdown USA.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with Riley Green, who has tended his own bar with Post Malone.
He'll come by the bar. Me and him will get behind the bar and fix drinks and bartend for a little while. And he's all in on country music.
That's Riley Green this week on Country Countdown USA.
Wednesday at 1 p.m. on WCSL 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and KTCBroadcasting.com.
For over 60 years, Honda Motorcycles of Shelby has been serving this area, and they continue to do so today. Right now, you'll find a good inventory of dirt bikes, plus 150 and up to 450 models of on- and off-road bikes. See the new 2024 Honda Rebel, along with 4x4 ATVs and side-by-sides, including the Pioneer and the Talon, plus Gold Wings and Trikes. And don't forget about their parts and service department. That's Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, 4402 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at HondaMotorcyclesofShelby.com. The Start Something New sales event is underway at Marburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Shelby. Just announced. Lease the 2024 new Dodge Hornet RT for $278 per month for 24 months. $39.99 total due at lease signing. No security deposit required. Lease payment term is factored in. A $6,500 EV incentive provided by lender. Come on in for all the details. All during the Start Something New sales event at Marburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
Man, I only do things incredible can, cause I am seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me, cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you, cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
And good morning and welcome to another Saturday Morning Sports Up with Kevin, Chip, Tom, Terry, and JP as always. You know, making these guys sound good, and as always, bringing breakfast for these guys every Saturday morning. And we're sponsored by McDonald's in Cherryville, and I'm curious, what did y'all guys get this morning for breakfast?
Morning, JP.
Morning.
I got an egg and cheese biscuit and a strawberry smoothie.
My sausage and egg biscuit. Tradition unlike any other.
Terry's mouse. Tom, what
Terry's
you
enjoying
I got a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin with a hash brown, and it's fantastic.
Bacon, egg, and cheese McMuffin, hash brown, and a coffee.
Terry, he didn't want to help you out at all, did he?
That's Tom.
Choking down the biscuit. He's just
That's
grinning.
Tom.
He's just grinning at you.
Yeah, that's Tom.
What about you, JP?
I got an egg and cheese biscuit with a round egg.
What, Tom?
You know, just sometimes, you know how you just like to watch some people struggle. It's kind of funny. Kind of like when you call on a kid in class, he doesn't know the answer, and he's trying to find the answer. You just look at him and smile. It's kind of enjoyable sometimes.
Tom, I always got an answer.
Sounds pretty.
Not when your mouth's full.
Sounds pretty evil from the 2022 Teacher of the Year, don't it, Terry?
Right, kind of cool and unusual torture there.
That's probably what he does, and he hunts that person.
We're gonna have to rescind that award.
Rescind it. Rescind the award.
Who were the generals in Pickett's charge?
Yeah, who are they?
Young man,
you don't
come
know.
on.
Haven't read your chapter, have you?
Tom, ref Terry or a ref called a technical on me one time for not saying nothing.
Yeah.
And the director called me about it, and I said, "We're going to rescind this one, right?" And he goes, "What does rescind mean?"
God.
So I had to send him a link about the NBA rescinding technicals when the refs step over the bounds, and he actually took that one away, but he didn't take the other one away. And I thought both of them should have been taken away, but he actually did take one away because I didn't even say anything. But yeah, didn't know what that meant, so I had to send the email to the guy above me, as usual. I had to, explain the rules to the person. Tom, it's fun explaining the rules to the umpires on the field. They get mad at you, tell you you're wrong, and try to explain it to them nicely. But look, guys, you're wrong on this one. We can either talk about it, you can call the director over, or you can be right. And they get mad at you, yell at you, tell you to get in the dugout. Then they call the director over after the game, have a big talk, and then you get apologies from everybody the next game. Oh, that's how it worked. Believe me. Somebody was right.
I'm going to the.
I just didn't yell at him, Terry. I got thrown out for being right too many times.
I'm going to.
He said, "I'm just tired of you. I'm just tired of you." I said, "I haven't done anything. I'm not arguing. I ain't yelled at you." He said, "But you've been on me all night." I said, "Well, you've missed everything all night, but I'm just telling you what you got, and I've been right all night. Get out of here. I'm tired of it." Okay.
We need to invite Kevin to our umpire clinic today.
Exactly.
No, I've been to plenty of those. Everyone thinks that they've never missed a call. That's what you just sit in a room, eating the snacks, farting on each other, and then tell each other we've never missed a call.
Never like that. It's like we've been caught in bad situations at times. But
I go to the bathroom for that, Kevin.
I know you do. Yeah. There's others that
don't. Right? Others don't return the courtesy.
I don't think so.
I mean, it's just I don't know, Terry. Have you ever admitted you missed it? I've admitted I missed it plenty of times.
I have admitted to coaches that I was in a wrong position.
Yeah, it's like,
and that's all, that falls back on me, But I mean, especially when all of a sudden something happens, and all of a sudden you going, "Oh my goodness gracious, what are you doing?"
But here it is. If Johnny messes up, we just say, "Come on, Johnny, that's all right. You got it next time."
Yeah.
If the coach messes up, it's like, "It's okay, coach, man. You shouldn't have sent that guy to third.
Yeah.
It's okay. You messed up." Umpire misses a strike. Oh my God, he's terrible.
Yeah, he's the worst thing in the world.
The worst thing in the world.
Let me call him all kind of names.
I think from the top down, like in sports, that it's never going to change until the pros in college.
The way they the example they.
Did you see Dan Hurley the other night?
Yes.
So like.
Good job.
He basically told the guy he was above the game. He said I'm
the best.
I'm the best. Don't turn your back on me. I'm the best coach in the game.
Yeah. He literally the mics picked him up saying that.
Yeah. So if you think Dan Hurley said that, what do you think Coach K has said to some of those referees before?
And what else do you think Dan Hurley? He even come out there saying, "Quit putting the camera on me. Show the other coaches."
I don't necessarily disagree with that though. I'm sure he is extremely animated.
But you put yourself in that spot.
But I'm sure there's also other coaches that are just to Tom's point, just as many other coaches that do that to the officials.
Well,
one thing and Tom, you mentioned it too. I've watched it at Gardner Webb events, and obviously it's a smaller level, but our coaches. Visiting coaches, our Gardner Webb's coaches, talking to him like, "You missed this, that XYZ. What were you on?" And a lot of times they just diffuse it like, "Okay, I missed that one." I mean, they just keep going down the court. I mean, they're just like, "Okay."
Who's y'all's coach at Gardner Webb? Chester, right?
For baseball?
Baseball.
Yeah, Jim Chester.
He's like, he wanted a balk in a fall game. He wants a balk in a fall game.
Yeah.
So he's over there at third base. He's like, "Hey, you gonna call that? You gonna call that? I know we're just getting better. You're supposed to be getting better too." So I looked at Coach Chester and I said, "I'm gonna try to get it next time, Coach." And it was like it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you just don't, like, you gotta let them yell at you a little bit, as long as it's not bad. You can't let them over there dog cussing you or anything. But sometimes he just wants to let his guys know. It's like, well, I want you to umpire and all that. And if you do it like that, and then you stop. The problem with some of them is once you acknowledge, like, okay, coach, I hear you. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
You should have watched it the first time. It's
Right.
like, and that's when they like they keep going and keep going.
I don't know if you two don't know it. I don't know if you do, but there are some coaches that walk on that field hating the umpire before he's even.
They do.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
Absolutely.
tell, and I will put it to you like this: it's like 9 and 10s. We're gonna teach the pitcher if you balk. You know what I'm saying? But we got coaches over there going, "That's a balk." What, are y'all going to call it? And I'm like, no, man. We're
This
teaching.
isn't the All-Star game.
9
Right.
and 10.
And All-Stars will
what
call
they
it.
just did, you know?
Well, I was watching the basketball game last night, and there's 25 people, fans in the stands, and I'm
What basketball game, Kevin?
a youth game,
Oh, youth game.
and one of the players got the ball, and one of the mamas in the stands yelled, "He can't dribble, go get him."
Oh, yeah.
Like that's what you wanted to yell or needed to yell? He can't dribble? Like they're of the kids on the court at that age, 2 of them can. And there's 18 kids sitting over there. So like, come on now. That one made me like, come on now, lady. You've got to have something better.
But people
say.
do that.
And they do. Like that little boy can't dribble is what she's yelling at that little kid. Like if he would have been talking about my son, I wanted to sit there and talk to him. Like, all right, he might be able to. I tell you what, here's a basketball. I'll take a basketball. Now let's see which one of us can dribble better.
Right. Yeah.
Like not everybody can dribble. I could go out there and out dribble everyone in that gym, and my son can't. Yeah. Just because I can doesn't mean he can. Right. And to be able to teach somebody that stuff, I can go out there and show him all day how to dribble, and it just doesn't get to him.
And then some kids they can only go left. They can't go right. And you're like, force him right.
Well, there's 5-year-olds that can dribble or 6-year-olds that dribble. My son's 12 and can't do it that way. And half the team of the 12-year-olds can't. And I'm just like, come on now. So that one, maybe. But as far as the coaches talking on the field, Terry, I was doing a game, and I'm not, I gotta tell you, the people that down here at Tryon that always cause trouble at where I've ever been. The assistant coach walks on the field for the game. I hate these umpires. I'm getting thrown out here today. He walked by me. He wasn't talking to me, but I heard him say that. Yeah. Well, Terry, something come up in the game, and they tried to pinch run for someone who wasn't the pitcher, and they were up 20 runs on us. And so I called time, and it clearly said in the sheet of paper that I got before the tournament that we will not run for anyone that's not the pitcher or whatever. So whatever it was. So I called time, and went and asked the umpire about it, and he tried to, him, and then the other coach comes in, he comes to fussing about it, and I'm finally like, look guys, y'all gave me a piece of paper for this. You walk right up there to that press box, pull that piece of paper out, and write it up. He can't run right now. Y'all can pitch all the hissy fit you want. And you know who got thrown out? The guy up 20 runs, who said he was going to get thrown out for the game, pitched the biggest hissy fit in the history of the world. Yeah. And he's just like, you're up 3 touchdowns and you're trying to pinch run.
Oh yeah.
For a kid. Yeah. Come on, stay out there and take your out. The only forced out I've got 3 outs this game, Terry. And we're out here trying, so I don't get to force out at second because the slow kids at first. So you know what? So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying these guys walk out there hating an umpire, and then God forbid they're the ones paying the umpire. Then you ain't getting the calls on that end down there too. So speaking of that, I want to talk about Tim Donahue. Did y'all see him this week on 60 Minutes?
No, missed it.
No, I did not. I missed it.
Well, boys, for those that don't believe in the conspiracy theories and everything else, Tim Donahue.
I do believe Allen Iverson knew this, and I believe all the players know this, that certain referees treat them much better than others.
Donahue told us that 2 years ago, Iverson had incurred the wrath of the refs.
He had threatened one of our officials, and the NBA fined him $25,000, and we felt as a group that he should have been suspended, and because he wasn't, we felt like we would teach him a lesson.
During that time, you worked an Iverson game January 6, 2007, so you bet against Iverson's team.
Correct.
Because you knew that all the refs were gunning for him. This was openly discussed.
Openly discussed. And I knew that the other two referees and I sought out to do a little justice of our own.
The refs quickly called curious fouls on Iverson, including rarely called fouls for palming.
And Iverson still upset about that palming call.
They threw his game off, and his team lost. According to the game's announcers, even late in the game, you kept hurting Iverson's team by letting defenders bludgeon him without calling any fouls. Watch.
Tim Donahue will not call a foul when Iverson goes to basket. About 3 in a row where he got to the basket, got fouled, we thought, no call.
What are we looking at?
We're looking at a foul that was let go.
Where?
Obviously, in the pregame meetings,
Oh, he bumped him, yeah.
we came to the conclusion that we were not going to give Allen Iverson any marginal plays to the basket. And that absolutely should have been called a foul that I and the other referees passed on.
Did anyone in the NBA know about it?
There was a group supervisor at the game that came in at halftime who was laughing and stated that he felt that Iverson had gotten the message.
So the supervisor approved of your punishing Iverson?
Yes.
The NBA would not let that supervisor or any of its refs talk to us. In that game, Donaghy did make calls that helped him win his bet, but he insists that wasn't the point. He says all he wanted to do was punish Iverson. But yes, he did win his bet. Special Agent Philip Scala, who retired from the FBI last year, told us Donaghy would bet on a game when he knew who the refs were and that they felt strongly about certain players.
Now, if you remember anything about Iverson, when he did go to the basket, there was the Jordan rules on him.
I was about to say, that's like one of the lighter contacts I saw
I was
that
getting
play.
ready to say that was ticky-tacky.
Yes, thank you. I mean, yes, they made contact.
It was definitely a bump, but in your call,
They bump all the time.
He said it was marginal.
Yeah,
He said
But let me ask you that: Does Jordan get that call?
No.
Chip.
That's not. I mean, there's contact every time anybody goes to the basket.
There's an NBA ref admitting that it's a foul, and you're going to sit here and argue with him because you know better.
Well, you're just asking.
Which level of basketball did you play, Chip?
You're just asking my opinion.
Which level did you umpire?
What I'm saying though is like I don't. This is absolutely 100% believable because if you
that right there, when he's shooting, you cannot make contact with the shooter.
Yeah, he's block. It's a block.
While he's going up for the shot, he bumped his arm. It's a blocking foul, Chip.
It's blocking. It's not major though. Like in a high school game, a lot of those get let go.
In college they do. I watched that.
In
that
college,
all night
it's
Wednesday
never
night.
called.
I watched it all night Wednesday night.
It's never going to be called in college.
In high school, they let a lot of that go. In the pros, that's why pros games about unwatchable because they do call a lot of those and it's start stop. But to me, it's like, whether you want to admit it or not, there are some officials like that. There are some officials that say, hey, this guy's a blah, blah, blah. Go stick it to him today.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. And I don't, what he said, Kevin, that doesn't surprise me one bit. That once it's just the disrespect. It's like anything else, man. Once you have blatant, repeated disrespect, somebody's got power over you, they're gonna get you.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what happened there. Now, does that make it right?
No,
it's kind
absolutely not.
It doesn't make it right because that's the way I do. I mean, seriously, as an official.
How about the greatest ejection in NBA history of my favorite player in NBA history, Rasheed Wallace.
Timeout LA. Whack! Get out! Get away from me, Steve. Get away from me, Steve. He didn't say a word. Technical foul, Wallace. He's gone. No, not right. I asked him 3 times to stop staring at me to try to intimidate me. I'm done. He's gone. I asked him. I told him. I have already told Mike twice before to have him stop staring to try to intimidate me. He did it again. He's gone.
Oh my God!
That's Rasheed Wallace getting thrown out
for looking
at the referee,
yes.
and Steve Smith arguing about it with him.
What I'm saying, if I don't get along with a coach, I just say don't send me there. I don't work their games. I mean, it's just because that's natural human. This guy's got me, so I'm going to get him, and that's the way we all think. So it's like, no, it just there's in every league I've worked, there's just one team or one coach. I don't get along. Don't send me there. I don't need the money that bad.
Yeah.
And that way you kind of avoid that because well, that wasn't just that game. That's like a 10-game thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's built up for I'm looking for any excuse to snap. So I just like keep myself out of that situation. If I don't get along with people, I just like, nah, there's another game. I'll just sit home. Yeah. I'll wash my car and not work the game. Yeah. I'm not getting into that.
Yeah. The whole thing is just, and I guess what stands out to me too, like you said, it's human nature, and you're going to have officials like that. The interview that Kevin showed us, is how rampant and how systematic it was at the highest level. That's what's concerning about it to me.
I don't care if it's at the highest. Human beings are human beings. You repeatedly disrespect somebody, they're going to get you, and that's why like you have to. Like even as a supervisor, you have to understand. Okay, Tom doesn't get along with Kevin, so we're not. Tom's
so you think you know Wicks?
Tom's not working Kevin's game. I mean, that's just what you got to do. And
but the fact that like him talking about them collaborating on it, that's the part that's bothersome.
But in that case, it's a little harder because Iverson had pissed so many of them off that it was probably hard to find a crew that wanted to work his game. But I mean, that's just what you got to do, man. If Johnny don't get along with Tommy, then Johnny can't umpire his game. I mean, that's just.
Terry, I was thinking about how we had talked about this last week about the spacing, and I'm just watching the Iverson highlights. How there was always a center, somebody still in the lane attacking him after his guy went by, and how many points he would get today. And like we talked, Michael getting 40, Iverson's getting 40 today's game, and it's not even a chance of them keeping him from not getting 40. Yeah. Like, people are going to have to start remembering him a little bit better for how really good he was, whatever you thought about him. But my goodness, like being able to not be able to hand check him and have the centers in the lane clogging the paint when he attacked. Like I don't see how they'd ever stop that at all. But anyway, that's I wanted to saw the Donahue thing this week and him talking about that, and I wanted to bring that up a little bit before we. Got going on all of our stuff. We got a big weekend showed ahead of us, guys. We've got college football to talk about. We've got national champions and other awards to give away. And we've got NFL playoffs. Let's see, baseball, the imperialism map. Oh, baseball Hall of Fame. That's what it was. We got to talk about a lot about.
Only 3 got in.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I saw. That only 3.
Yeah, we'll talk about a bunch of that. All right, let's see. I don't think I can play that one over there. I have to play it on the break, see if we can. But I'm going to leave you guys here on the break. Before we go to break, it snowed in the South, if you didn't know.
Snowed in New Orleans.
In the deep South. We have highlights of what you do in New Orleans when it snows, Terry.
That's pretty cool.
We need one. We need these in the Cat Square Parade. We're going airboating, boys.
That's better than horse and buggy.
Lake Pontchartrain never saw it coming. All right, we'll be back in a minute. JP, KDCBroadcasting.com.
Since 1934, that's right, 1934, Watson Insurance Agency has been providing the people of our area the best possible combination of insurance, risk management techniques, and personalized service in the most efficient manner possible. And today, the tradition continues. Watson Insurance is one of the largest independently owned brokers in the Southeast, representing over 30 of the largest and financially sound insurance carriers today. Before you buy, get a quote with offices in Gastonia, Lincoln, and Belmont and Lake Wylie. Find out more at WatsonInsurance.com. First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. CareLifeInsurance.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Hi, folks. This is Buddy Cheney, owner of ProMotion Motor Company. 2025. It's a new year and a new you. And ProMotion Motor Company would like to help you start your new year out with a quality pre-owned vehicle. Sports cars, SUVs, vans, Jeep Wranglers, and pickup trucks. We keep over 80 vehicles in our inventory at all times. ProMotion Motor Company has been serving Lincoln County and surrounding counties for 25 years. First-time buyers, good credit, bad credit, no credit, and on-lot financing are available. We will get you financed, so give us a try. So come on down to ProMotion Motor Company, located at 2527 East Main Street, Lincoln, or call us at 704-735-0303 or apply online at www.promotionmotors.com.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Eyes on Joey Aycock on top of the flag stand. Green flag goes in the air.
Returns to its roots.
Oh, there's a big punt. Chastain shoves Michael McDowell backwards and into the outside wall.
At Bowman Gray Stadium.
Trying to pull away from Kyle Busch, and it looks good as Busch wiggles off of turn 2. Hamlin's got the lead off turn 4.
It's the Cookout Clash at Bowman Gray.
Sunday, February 2nd at 5:30 on Carolina Country WCSL. 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Why choose Kubota for your new compact tractor? All the options in the market can make the choice difficult, but don't lock yourself in before you've seen what Kubota can offer. We've been selling reliable tractors in the U.S. for over 50 years. Your Kubota dealer can help you select the right tractor at a price you can afford and then support your purchase after the sale. Stop by your dealer today for a tractor you can count on for years to come.
Your Kubota dealer in this area is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, Kings Mountain.
The Start Something New sales event is underway at Abernethy. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Lincolnton. Just announced. Lease a 2024 new Dodge Hornet RT for $278 per month for 24 months. No security deposit required. $39.99 total due at lease signing. Lease payment term has factored in a $6,500 EV incentive provided by the lender. Come in for all the details. All during the Start Something New sales event at Abernethy. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, 1442 East Main Street, Lincolnton.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. They're talking about some other type
Let's talk about
sport.
sports. Hit the computer button there, Chip.
Yep.
It's time for college football. Gotta play the fight song for the national champion, Oregon Ducks. Go Ducks! I'm gonna sing it. Let's go. Armayo. Go Ducks, go! Fight Ducks, fight. Go fight, win Ducks, win. Tom, you know the words of this one? You know the words of this one? Terry, you know the words of this one? Are you an Oregon Duck fan? Well, if you didn't know, the Oregon Ducks have been named 2025 co-national champions. They get to officially have been recognized as a national champion. Welcome to college football. There are different ways to be recognized as national champions, and folks out there, I'm here to tell you that according to the WOLF, the WOLF ratings, the 2024-25 college football season is out, and Oregon is the top-ranked team. Even though they lost quarterfinals to the Ducks, they're the only team with one loss on the season, and they beat Ohio State already. And they will be recognized by Peter Wolf's mathematical rankings designed amongst the national champion major selections by the NCAA, and it is recorded in the official NCAA record books as national champions. Dun, dun, dun! You guys look speechless. And
Yeah.
I'm just looking at Tom. It's on his. He can talk now.
Waiting for this to be over.
I'm just showing you. Here we go. Oregon national champion, right here. Here's your final Wolf ratings. Ohio State number 2, Notre Dame 3, Penn State 4, Georgia 5, and Texas 6. BYU got 9. Boise State moved up to 8. No, Alabama didn't make the top 15 according to these ratings, but there you go, guys. Your final ratings and your national champion.
Your reason number 782 why the NCAA is irrelevant. Golly. Oh, gosh.
Well, I'm just going to go with the national champion that won the tournament, and that would be Ohio State.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? You know what's so funny? You don't even get a chance to enjoy it because, oh, yeah, this is the golf cart rig. Go ahead, Kevin.
Terry, did you see these guys?
Yeah.
I got a lot of comments. I'm going to keep to myself.
Ryan J., you deserve it, brother. Thank you.
But hold on. I want to back this up. There are at least 4 other people that are more qualified to drive this golf cart sitting on that golf cart than the person driving the golf cart.
Thank you. Thank you.
Boom!
It's okay. It's okay.
Austin Powers. Oh, it's so cute. I just wrecked the golf cart. Everybody laugh.
I'm so sorry.
It's about, what, $40 million sitting in the cart with them of ACLs? Good job, Beyonce. So there you go, Tom. You lost a lot of money on those ACLs on that one. Terry, did you know now that we had this talk last week? You can now buy your own helmet stickers to put on your hats for Ohio State.
Oh, man.
We know what Tom's getting for Christmas next year.
Some stickers.
Ohio State hat pins. LeBron's got his on there. How'd he get those, Tom?
Every time he cries about a foul, he gets a
as an alum.
But what I was saying is, like, you don't even get a chance to enjoy it because the day after it's talking about who's going to transfer. All these guys are going to leave. This coach is going to. I mean, it's just like, man, it's the social media culture.
It's not fun no more.
It's not. It's not.
It's
I mean, it really. You don't even get a chance to enjoy your national championship because the next day Jeremiah Smith's going to transfer. Carnell Tate's going to transfer. Jim Knowles is going to quit and go to Oklahoma. I mean, it's like, guys, can y'all give it? But they don't. That's clickbait. They just love it. And I heard on another show, it's like I can't remember. It was like Ewers that was rumored was offered like $8.5 million to go. I can't remember where, somewhere. And the reporters that like called the coach, and the coach is like, "We did? I didn't know about that." So I mean, it's just people just make crap up because, like Kevin says, there's no regulation in reporting. Just any idiot can make up any story and put it out there. Yeah. So like, I don't even like. It's like if it. And some of them will be. The sad thing is, some of them will be true,
right?
And some of them will be complete BS. So you don't even know which ones are true and which ones are not.
You've heard me say this before that I heard a radio broadcaster that has in Charlotte talking about with internet and social media and all that. It has made the ability to attain information easier than any point in history, but it's also made the ability to attain false information easier
or to generate false
exactly. Yeah,
I mean, back in the day, I mean, your false information only went like maybe down the bar. Now it goes to the whole world. So, I mean, it's just, it's like I enjoy the win. It was I'll tell you what, I give Notre Dame some credit.
Yep.
And I was ready to put my Notre Shame post on there when they got beat by 40. But I'm going to tell you what, there's no quitting that team. I give Notre Dame a lot of credit because a lot of teams got down 31-7. They're just going to lay down, and this is embarrassing.
You saw my text in the third quarter.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I don't say anything, really. I just watch the game. Because it's so weird what happens in some of these games. So one team can get up and then start messing around. Ohio State running quarterback power 3 plays in a row, stupid stuff like that. So, I hands down, they were the better team. But Notre Dame, a lot of fight in that team.
I became that much bigger a fan of Marcus Freeman.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman does it great.
Let me squeeze this in real quick so I change the graphic. Number of NCAA top 5 wins in the last 19 years. Notre Dame had 4 in 19 years. Ohio State's had 5 since November. So there's you some, and I don't like that how they do that because Appalachian gets credit for like beating the number 2 team in the nation. At the end of the year, they were like 24th or something. So we didn't beat the number 2 team in the nation. We beat the 24th best team in the nation. So I don't like the when they were number 1 thing, but that's that one. So Terry, do you have something to say?
Well, I'm listening to Tom. That's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard him come in here and say. Oh, I just sit there and watch the game.
I do.
No, he didn't. He sat over and he goes, up yours, Terry. Boom, here, Terry. Boom, yeah, Terry. Take this, Terry. Yeah, I don't see no Texas coming, Terry. What are you doing over there, Terry?
Terry, how many times?
Tell the truth, Tom.
How many times? How many times I text you during the game?
Tell it, Terry. Tom. Come on.
Terry,
tell the
how
truth.
How many texts did you get during the game?
What? That's on account of... I
You
don't have to text when
Terry,
you're beating them
it's
to death.
a simple question that's answered with
it
a
does
number.
not have to be
it's
like
answered
that.
with a number.
Tell the truth,
How
Tom.
many texts did you get?
You tell the
How
truth.
Terry, I don't get mad at you because you're delusional. You're deranged. You're insane.
You set up
You
there,
don't-
I guarantee
you
you. I
don't-
don't have to say nothing. They're beating them to death.
You don't.
They're beating them to death.
You don't walk. You don't walk by the mental hospital and argue with people laughing at the rain.
You know-
That's you, Terry.
That's
so
what
I mean,
you
it's
were
just
saying.
like
Look at
I
it. It's
don't-
trying
I
to
mean,
be
it's just-
calm about
I mean,
this.
it's just no,
little baby.
no. It's just
Yeah.
like it's just like you try to redneck Jedi mind trick
All
me,
I
man.
did
It's
was
like,
sit there and
it
watch the
doesn't
little
work.
game.
It's like if Yoda was
No,
a
that's
Lincoln,
not what you
a
did.
Lincoln hillbilly. That's what you are, but you're not. It just doesn't
No,
work.
you didn't.
It just doesn't work. No,
There you go. Look at her, Terry. 31 to 8. We pounding y'all.
It was 31-7, and no, I didn't do that. I mean, I just
See, he ain't gonna forget a score. See, that's what I'm talking about.
I know what the score was because I watched the game.
And then all of a sudden, it all got really tightened up when he got 31 to 23. He was like, "Oh no!"
I told my daughter because we watched the game from 10 years ago. And I told her, I said, honey, this thing's going to tighten up. I'm going to tell you, this thing's going to tighten up.
That's a dumb answer,
Ohio
too.
State gets ahead. I said, this thing's going to tighten up. And it did. Because Notre Dame doesn't quit. I'm going to give that quarterback a credit. Even though he's a Duke boy, he's tough. That first drive, they beat the piss out of him. But see, it's like when Kevin says rationally, like you're going to have a rational argument, that you don't want your quarterback taking that many hits. Yeah. And even Freeman admitted, well, he took too many hits on the first drive. And if you notice, his passing accuracy
was
you
all
can't.
way
I
off.
mean, you can't. You can't.
Tom.
You can't.
They need to put you on As the World Turns so everybody can see you every day.
They need to
That's
put
what
you.
they need to do.
They need to put you.
As the World
in
Turns with Tom.
They need to put you in a therapist chair. That's where you need to
know
go. I mean, you need. I mean, you got some daddy issues or something. I don't know what it is. He must have had a big brother
cannot
that
believe
picked
that.
on you
Welcome
or something.
to the Tom and Terry corner.
I mean,
All
it's just
I done
dumb. I
was
mean, it's
sit there and
just
watch
dumb.
the game.
I do. I'm not because I'm not an idiot. I can sit there and take in information.
There's nothing you could have said. There wasn't no reason for you to text. You didn't have no reason. It was on the television, them getting pounded.
How was your smoothie? Was it
I
delicious?
didn't. I didn't. I had no reason to text, even though he said you're over here texting. It's like, no, I'm not. Actually
You don't
not
have
texting.
to.
I'm just not.
You didn't
that
have
mean.
to.
All
Yeah.
those stupid
There you
memes
go, Terry.
play like.
There you're nothing, Terry. That's what.
I
you're-
just have one thing to say. Rudy still sucks. Rudy sucked in 1975, and he sucks today. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you.
Okay.
But I give respect. I respect Notre Dame after that game, even though they don't play in the conference. They shouldn't have been in the playoff. But I still respect.
Here we
So-
go again.
So Sunday morning, I actually took my my second daughter down to Atlanta, surprised her with a trip, and so we stayed her first time staying in a hotel. Sunday morning, prior to the national championship, I'm at the Hampton Inn downtown Atlanta. I meant to text this to y'all, and I see this group of Irish fans sitting in the hotel wearing that shirt.
What's it say?
For those of you who can't.
Oh,
Put
yeah,
it up
yeah,
to the camera. For those of you who can't see, the shirt
Well,
says...
the radio people can't see.
Sorry, the radio people that can't see. Sorry, what did I say? But it says Catholics versus conferences. And I meant to text that to y'all. Because I was like, oh, Tom's going to love that.
First time in 82 years, back-to-back national Big Ten champions.
Yeah. Well, it's evened out. The SEC
Not hypothetically.
can't. And now that the other conferences can pay players, the SEC is not going to dominate anymore.
That's Shane Gillis' argument.
Think of it on the bright side, Tom.
And Kevin put their academic standards on there too. I mean, it's just like, well, when you didn't have the highest academic standards and you can pay players, well, you're gonna have better football.
But Lou Holtz was right, wasn't he?
About what?
Ron Day gets to keep his job since y'all won the national.
Ryan Day was going to keep his job anyway.
You know.
I mean, unless Ryan Day didn't want to. If I was Ryan Day, I would have mic dropped Ohio State. I would have. I mean, I would have said, "There's your national championship, babies," and I would have threw the microphone and.
Notre Dame lost before the game started.
The Irish hat comes up to the other guy's shoulder blades.
When they sent the drummers out, you should put all your money on Ohio State. All your money.
Well, I tell you what, it was a great season, but both these teams came back from when people left them for dead. When Notre Dame got beat at home by Northern Illinois, I left them for dead.
Yeah.
I said, they're going to fire the coach. They're done. And they what they do, win 10 in a row or 12 in a row or something like that. And Ohio State after Michigan, it's like these guys can't block. They can't run the ball. Anybody who's got any defensive tackles is just going to smash them. And then they found adjustments and made a run and won it. So,
No, I will give y'all credit, Tom. Y'all were the best team athlete-wise from top to bottom, and you proved it on the field every game.
Yeah.
Because really, nobody really played with y'all.
In the tournament.
Yeah.
In the tournament.
Nobody really played with y'all.
In that Michigan game. But I tell you what,
because I know how it is when you get up 31-7.
You get lazy.
Yeah, you get lazy.
So we've had 7 for all the whining and complaining and fussing. Remember this next year when they do this about when we argue about who should be in the championship. 7 straight national championships decided by double-digit points. So when you go to bet, it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
7 straight.
I remember that Alabama team that beat Ohio. Nobody was beating that Alabama team. I mean,
But now I will say this has to be better than when Georgia played TCU.
65-7, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
wait a minute. Don't forget TCU beat
Michigan that year
to get there.
I know, but still.
They didn't get voted there.
They beat Michigan.
But
maybe Georgia was really good, Terry.
And
maybe so.
We
Maybe they were that good.
We talked about it last week, but neither one of these two teams, if it's not a 12-team playoff, neither one of these two teams make it.
I'm going to tell you, Jim Harbaugh's a lot better coach with Connor Stallion standing next to him, isn't he? Man.
Find another jersey.
Yeah, I got this. My mother got me this one years ago.
I hear you. Ain't
This is
nothing wrong
when.
with that.
Yeah, how old this jersey is? This is a Beanie Wells jersey. I mean, this thing's like 20 years old. But I broke it out for you, Terry. I just wore this one.
I'm proud of you, Tom. I really was.
Terry wore your school
I did,
colors too today.
But now listen to me. I did before the game ever started. I did send Tom a text.
Yeah.
He said, "Good luck."
Yeah, good luck tonight, Tom.
He did say, "Good luck tonight, Tom." That was sweet. I didn't text back. So I'm not talking to this man tonight. I'm not talking to anybody.
I'm not entertaining this.
And then even when Chip texted, "It's over," I was like, "Chip, don't do that again. Nothing's over till it's over." Nothing.
How do most coaches feel about losing players to the portal?
How do most coaches feel? A lot of them do not like it, man.
Right.
I mean, really, because
until they get their incoming class.
Well, wait a minute. No. I don't need an explanation. Hold on.
I ain't explaining nothing. I'm just saying when they went to college basketball, they explained how many guys have been at their school for 4 years, and it was almost nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have kids now, and Tom, here's where a lot of things come in, and Kevin and Chip, everybody. How are you getting education? When I go to 4 different schools in 4 years because I was unhappy with my playing time.
And
well, they're not, Terry, and it's not your business.
Well, you're right. It's not my business.
If they don't want to, and that's what they want to do. I'm not telling you to not feel a certain way. I'm just saying like they don't care about how you feel about it.
I can't
And
remember.
they
do not.
So
care.
this is what I want to read. This is what I was getting to was. I'm just going to read the quote. After you win something like this, talking about a national championship, there's this opportunity like this. There's opportunity, and we're going to fight like heck to keep these guys the best we can. But when opportunity knocks and they have opportunities, they deserve to do what's best for their families.
Oh
that was said about the assistant coaches. Ryan Day, quote about his assistant coaches, Tom.
Well, so somebody should know that his assistants are going to get jobs.
Well, but I'm saying is that would he ever say that about his players?
What's the difference?
That's my point, is that he would never say that about his players. But he has no problem saying it's okay for his assistants to chase money and do what's best for them.
Yep.
Now, the players moving every year, sign them to 2 or 3 year deals and then stop complaining about it, coaches. One team did sign a kid to a 2-year deal. He asked to leave. There's a lawsuit now about that right now, and I think he won it to win his NIL money from him. So they've got to sign the contracts. That's flat out. You don't. And I guess
this is what this has come to now.
Yeah, if it's going to be free agency, and it's going to be
Well, how do you stop a human being from making it? Like you look at it as, hey, I don't want these guys moving because I don't know why you care about the kids that much, but where they move. But my thing
what
is,
about that young man who's out here and say it's Chip, and Chip, I'm coming to your house all the time to try to get you to come to whatever college. Yeah. And I continue to do that. But nobody else is looking at you. Nobody cares who you are. Mm-hmm. But all of a sudden you come, you showcase yourself, and then all of a sudden you look at me and say, adios, buddy. I'm out of here. I'm going over here to make myself better. And we're sitting here like, we was the only person who even gave you a chance to prove who you were.
I mean,
thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, Terry, I could give you a real life experience of that, actually. And why I think that's okay. This time a year ago, or a little over a year ago last year, I was laid off from my job, and I had someone extremely generous offer me a professional opportunity that keep a roof over my head and my family's head and keep put food on the table. And I took that. And I worked there for less than a year. I was grateful for the time, grateful for the opportunity. I've had another opportunity come up, and I took it. Mm. And it was what was best for my family. And it's not college football. It's the real world. It's professional. I'm never going to fault somebody in our society for having the opportunity to better themselves. It's just we're not used to it being that way with college athletes. This is still a new realm and a new landscape. But doggone it, if the coaches, from the head coaches down to the tight ends coach, have the opportunity to improve themselves and go for promotions with better opportunity for security for their family, I'm never going to fault a player for having that same opportunity.
Did you go to this person, though, that gave you that opportunity and said, look, I've got this that's here in front of me. What should I do? I'd rather stay here because y'all gave me the opportunity. Will y'all give me more money? Or did you just opt out and say, no, I'm not talking to you?
It wasn't about money.
Not everything's about money, but but a lot of things are. Yeah. I will say this, though, like, if I'm playing at North Carolina and LSU offers me $10 million and I'm getting $4 million, and I go to North Carolina, I'm like, you got 10? Mm-hmm. And if they say no, then I'm going to LSU. But like, well, what I'm saying is that's the NCAA's to figure out whatever rules they can figure out whatever rules they want for it. As far as the 1 year thing, however they want to make them do 2 year deals, whatever. Yeah. I think you can sign whatever deals you want.
Right,
1 year,
exactly.
2 years. I don't think there should be a limit. You have to sign 2 years. But I think you should be able to sign like Carson Beck or whoever to 3-4 year deals to make sure that they are there.
Yeah.
But again, you can't make somebody stay somewhere where they're at. I don't know how you retire or quit, that type of a job, or get out of that type of contract. But the fact is that everybody, that if coaches and everyone else in the school, every person in that school that's an employee can leave and go do whatever job they want to any day they want to, other than the athletes. And so they've got to figure out whatever system is best, but you've got to let them get paid and quit whining about that. All right, real quick. Terry, was Ohio State's national championship fraudulent? I have proof. Venn diagram style. You guys are teachers. You like Venn diagrams. All right, Tom. Here we go. So, look at some of the past national champions. We'll go 2015. 2014 is the latest we went to. Let's see. How many lost to a rival? 2 of them, Alabama and Ohio State. How many of them did not win the conference championship? Georgia and Ohio State. How many of them lost to an unranked opponent? Clemson in 2014. Ohio State was the only one that's done all three is the 2024 Ohio State Buckeyes. And they lost to a team who lost to Northern Illinois, too. They didn't even put that on the Venn diagram.
That was Notre Dame.
Or you beat a team that lost to Illinois and act like you count it. And you put a trophy up, Terry. Wait a minute. Who all else beat Northern Illinois that gets to put a trophy up? I got to see that. The Northern Illinois schedule.
Yeah.
They're already talking about your wide receivers getting offered money to leave, Tom.
Tate's being, I think they want him to come.
No, Jeremiah.
And not only him, but Tate was offered money too to go somewhere else. If they choose to go, they choose to go. I mean, what am I going to do about it? That's what I know. What am I going? What am I supposed to do?
Oh, NC State. NC State. State beat Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
Well, you got to claim the national championship. Did y'all beat it?
That's just so stupid. But anyway, yeah, I mean, they got Beck, but is Beck really that good? You think you're going to do better with Beck? I mean,
no, he's not there to win. He's there to party with his girlfriends and make $4 million. I don't bet on them. The last thing I bet on is them.
I mean,
right?
If I get an alert on my phone that says 5 people transfer, what am I supposed to do about it? I mean, I'm not a big donor. I can't call up the university and say, "Hey, I got $4 million. Here's a check." What am I going to do?
Well, Tom, you said you can't enjoy it. So how long do you get to enjoy it? Like when?
I mean, literally, like the next day, Jim Dole's going to Oklahoma. I'm like, that's my Ohio State news. Yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to take those alerts off my phone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not a bad idea.
I mean, just take it off my phone. I
mean,
mean,
at least for a week or so. Give yourself a time to give yourself a week.
I mean, it's just like if Brian Kelly can leave like a thief in the night, and Lincoln Riley can leave like a thief in the night, how can I blame Jeremiah Smith for saying,
Exactly.
I mean, I can't. Like my brother, I love him to death, but he's like, well, you don't want to be here. Get out. It's like they don't see it that way.
Yeah.
See, like when you're born and raised on Ohio State, you have a different connection.
You wouldn't think there's anything better. How could you do anything better?
How could you dare leave Ohio State? But they don't view it the same way.
Right.
Like a Jack Sawyer does, because I think he's from the Columbus area.
Right.
So I mean, it's different. When you're born and bred, and that's what you grow up with.
For a lot of these players, it's transactional.
Right. For a lot of these players, it's like, hey, how can I get to the NFL? Brian Hartline can help me get to the NFL. That's why they're not at Ohio State because they were born and raised in Ohio.
Bill Belichick can help me get.
And as soon as they're born, you get an Ohio State jersey. I mean, it's not, it's not like that.
Oh, jeez. I like it.
So the risk.
I'm going to sit here and not say anything. See how long it'll take for y'all. Y'all just quit talking sometimes when I'm just working.
I'm looking at the vacated one. I'm looking at the vacated one up in the in Minnesota.
That's Marshall.
Yeah. Why are they saying it's vacated?
You know anything about that, Terry?
No.
Why did Marshall vacate their wins? They vacated. They own half or about a quarter of North Carolina. Yeah. Some Virginia and West Virginia as well. So for folks on radio, we're talking about the college imperialism map. That means you get to take over the land and closest counties that you beat a team in, and you acquire land through the year. So if you lose your land, like NC State or let's say for example loses the land around them in the first week, they can't get it back. You got to beat other people to get it back. So anyway, just looking at the map, Ohio State's got a lot of it. LSU does too. Michigan a little bit. Illinois got quite a good
Illinois had a good year. They had a really good year.
Ohio State claims Ireland and Ohio and Alaska. No word yet on who claimed Greenland yet. So we're still waiting on that one.
Well, you know what the thing about Greenland is, the old Northwest Ordinance of 1787, I believe, said you had to have 60,000 people to apply for statehood, and they only have 56,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they still use that because.
Well, we had how many people came into the country in the last 4 years? We all we need to do send 4,000 over on a bus, and now they're a state. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, not a
you
bus.
would have to do that.
Not
first.
A bus.
Yeah.
There's no bus going to Greenland.
Yeah. Now, if we would have said that,
let me know.
If we would have said that, he would have hammered us.
No buses going to Greenland.
Hey, we can build a road there. We can do it.
George, all right, how about basketball, a little college? Anything else on college football?
Well, I did want to say one thing
Yes,
before
sir.
we moved on. And Chip, I'm glad you brought that up. You know, I just wonder if Ohio State could have beat North Carolina State this year.
It'd been close according to the math.
It's a great big question mark now.
According to the math.
It's a great big question.
How bad
now.
did Tennessee beat them?
What's
How
that?
bad did Tennessee beat NC State?
Well, we beat Northern Illinois.
And then Ohio State beat Tennessee 42-17, but he's over here running his mouth that after they got beat like 45 to 10 by.
It might have been worse than that.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty bad.
Let's see, Tennessee.
I'm just telling you,
It was pretty bad.
Any team with good defensive tackles was going to give Ohio State a hard time. I mean, Nebraska was only a one-score game, I believe, with Ohio State. They had a good defensive. I'm telling you, man.
But anyway,
that was their weakness.
Tennessee beat NC State 51-10.
Yeah, 51-10. So I think we're done with this conversation. I think that kind of settles it.
Ohio State won when they were supposed to win. That's.
Well, it's a small question mark, Tom. I wonder about it.
They Marshall. I don't know about vacating wins, but they did withdraw because they had a lot of transfers and coaching changes before their bowl that they were supposed to play in the Independence Bowl against Army. They withdrew from playing in that bowl. They were fined $100,000 for withdrawing from the bowl.
So they had a bunch of players transfer.
Once their coaching staff changed, they had a number of players already announced they were transferring. So they almost. I'm sure they could. I think they could field a roster, but it wouldn't have been. They would not have fully dressed out what they were obviously close to what they had.
They pulled a Michigan 2020. It's like, oh, we don't have enough guys to play Ohio State. We're folding.
Yeah.
All right. Since 2014, Chip got.
Sorry.
You cheat so much. I swear.
It's just habit, man. It's that screen's right there in front of me. I'm turning. I'm not looking.
I'm going to have to put the screen right here and rearrange this. All right. Since 2014, the college football playoff era, which, by this metric of championships, another Venn diagram for Tom, because I know he loves Venn diagrams. Only one school, let's see, 5 schools have made the Final Four and a college football playoff. Okay. Michigan, Oregon, Oklahoma, Alabama, and Michigan State. But only one of those 5 has also accomplished winning a club dodgeball national championship, and that is Michigan State. So they are the official kings of college athletics. The only school in the last 11 years to make a Final Four, a college football playoff, and win the club dodgeball national championship.
That's cute.
Terry, does that make you want to be a Michigan State fan?
No, not really.
What? Listen.
Tough crowd.
Terry, the Wolfpack made a Final Four. They're on there.
Yeah, our picture's up there.
Townsend and whoever GV is won the national dodgeball national
I think
championship.
it's probably Grand Valley State.
Is that what that is? There's only been 3
That would be my guess.
national club ball foot national champions in 11 years. Michigan must be dominating that, Michigan State. So there you go, folks. If you want to be a super athlete, Michigan State's the play.
They've only had 3 years of the national dodgeball championship.
No, that might be true too. So I can't say deny or say yes. I think that's all my college football notes. I might have had one on basketball, but anything else, Tom?
Nope. Just congratulate my Buckeyes and enjoying wearing my shirt today and enjoying Terry's stupidity for the last 30 minutes because he sent all those stupid memes to me all week long.
I did not see you.
And never once admitted I was wrong, Tom. But that's okay.
I didn't have to say that. I did say good luck to you, Tom.
Yeah, but I've got trust me, I've got plenty of Chip. You got them.
It
like a champion.
It takes 10 positive statements to offset one negative.
The only thing that I got that I didn't get was a Rudy meme. I didn't get a Rudy meme. That's what
I thought about actually sending one.
I didn't get a Rudy meme.
So real quick, college basketball: Georgia, Ole Miss, and South Carolina led for 119 minutes and 14 seconds out of 120 minutes. They went 0-3.
This week?
Yeah, the same night.
Wow.
100. It was the same night. 119 and 14 seconds out of 120 minutes led, and all 3 lost.
Carolina's
10 seconds.
All right, Tommy. Here's your There's your bad gambling beat. Let's see what it was. Arkansas, 1.5. Okay. Arkansas, 1.5. It is 65 with 9 seconds to go.
To go. Is Wagner going downhill? There he goes. Wagner off the mark. Zero! Rejected! And a foul called with 1.8 seconds remaining.
Well, it's just what I called for.
Of 7 this evening. Hawks in front.
Favored by 1.5.
Short on the second.
Misses it. Reaches his own rebound. Win by 3.
Wow.
Didn't even need the basket.
Tim Donahue is not around. We'll be back in a minute. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Hi, I'm KJ Simpson. Here's Charlotte Hornets basketball on Carolina Country, WCSL 92.9 FM and 1590 AM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Tax time is here, and since 1961, AgControl Business Services in Gastonia has been serving this area with the best in income tax service. And you're dealing with IRS enrolled agents with over 120 years of combined experience, and get same-day service, and most returns are processed right while you wait. Get electronic filing too, and while there, shop Nest and Canvas Custom Jewelry. AgControl Business Services, 428 West Main Avenue in Gastonia. Call 704-864-8767. Open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 9 to 6. Call for Saturday hours. Closed on Sunday and Wednesday.
The scripture says in Psalm 122, verse 1, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. From the staff and congregation of the First Baptist Church in Cherryville, we'd like to take this opportunity to invite you to worship with us. Our Sunday school begins at 9:45 a.m., our worship service at 11, and our Wednesday evening service is at 6 p.m. Our Sunday worship services can also be heard live here on WCSL Sunday mornings at 11, and you can watch the live stream on Facebook. If you do not have a church home, we would love for you to come be with us at the First Baptist Church in Cherryville.
Now is the best time ever to buy your new floor for your home or business at Floor in America in Kings Mountain or Carpet One Interiors in Gastonia. Now get 12 months financing and pay 0 interest. That's right, pay no interest for a full year. From LVP flooring to carpet to vinyl to tile to hardwoods. They've got it all, and now 12 months interest-free financing. At Floor in America, 602 Slater Street in Kings Mountain, and Carpet One Interiors, 2757 East Ozark Avenue in Gastonia. Your perfect floor starts at Floor in America in Kings Mountain and Carpet One Interiors in Gastonia.
No matter where you live, it's well worth the drive to the Western Steer in Newton. Their big buffet bar is absolutely the best around. Home cooking like you like it. It's real comfort food with down-home hospitality. The Western Steer in Newton, 334 Southwest Boulevard in Newton at the Highway 10 and 321 intersection. Open Wednesday through Sunday.
Attention John Deere shoppers. James River Equipment's Blue Tag specials are going on now.
Which means huge savings on compact and utility tractors, residential and commercial mowers, Gator utility vehicles, and more. Visit JamesRiverEquipment.com/Blue Tag for more.
Get up to $2,500 off MSRP on John Deere riding mowers, up to $3,000 off MSRP on John Deere commercial mowers, and up to $10,000 off MSRP on John Deere utility tractors. James River Equipment Company, Highway 180 North, Shelby.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. They're about to talk about some more sports.
Hall of Fame voting. And we have hurt Ichiro's feelings, y'all. Because there's nothing special about it. You don't get a special sticker, do you? Only one person's been voted 100% in the history of the game, and they voted as a relief pitcher, which is the biggest travesty in the history of the world. And then we're going to complain because one guy didn't put Ichiro on his ballot. Now, is he wrong? Yes. But just get over it, folks. I've seen grown men on all over these apps. Ichiro didn't get 100%. Like, come on. Chipper did make a point talking about Andrew Jones, Mr. Chip Carter. He said, I bet you one thing, if Andrew had a Yankee symbol on his hat this whole time, we wouldn't even be having this discussion.
True.
Yep. Ichiro gets in. CC Sabathia gets in. Billy Wagner gets in. Actually has, and I'll show you a stat if I can find it, like the lowest like contact rate in like Major League history once that they kept track of it.
Wow.
Beltran almost in, needs 75%. Andrew Jones is not in at 66%, which I just think is the biggest travesty of it all right now. You can definitely argue A-Rod and Manny should be in based on performance. I think Beltran should be in. He scared the Cardinals to that. If we got beat in the early 2000s, it was because whatever team that jerker was on, because he just killed us.
Well, it's like the steroid era. He's paying the penalty for his involvement with the Astros cheating scandal. That's he's having to pay penance for that. Whether I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's
How long do you have to be out of baseball till you're eligible?
Well, it's 5 years.
5 years like football.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's some of the other ones. Felix Hernandez, Abreu, Rollins, Vizcael, I think should probably be in as well.
What do you think about Felix?
They just don't care one thing about defense, and that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, it's not rated as much. That's my argument for why Don Mattingly should be in the Hall of Fame. One of the best offensive players for a 3 to 5 year span, but not beyond that. Arguably the best American League defensive first baseman of all time, and he ranks right up there with Keith Hernandez, I would say.
They don't value it at all.
Don't they put other people in a different way, though? They vote some in, and there's
Like
another
the
way.
Veterans
There's a
Committee.
veteran and stuff, yeah.
So
Hanley Ramirez, 0. Curtis Granderson, Tulowitzki, Brian McCann. There's some folks with zeros in there that probably won't get anything as well. But there's your...
You need a certain amount just to stay on the ballot, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they gonna let Pete in. They gonna put Pete in now that he's dead.
I think they will in about 10 years, though.
Some more of the people that hate him have to die first.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, how else could you put it?
Right.
I mean, more of the people that hate him have to die, and then he'll get in.
Yeah, that's just like people going to it. Congratulations. I'm glad you get to go. Enjoy your time. I'll never go to that.
No Barry Bonds, no Pete Rose, no Mark McGuire. How can you tell the story of baseball without
them?
Without you can't.
That's right. There's no way you can tell it.
Let's see. 2026 eligibles. Ryan Braun, Shin Shu Shu, Edwin Encarnacion. I'm going to read serious names.
Cole Hamels.
Nobody. So there you go. Ryan Braun. And I think, don't he have cheating scandal too? He was actually suspended for steroids. Let's put him in who's actually suspended for it, and Bonds won't get in.
All right. Yeah.
The David Ortiz thing just kills me. The whole DH thing, the whole closer thing. I get putting Mariano in, being the best at it, but I'd still like, and it's not a Mariano thing. It's if you're not good enough to be a starter,
right? I get it.
How are you one of the greatest players ever?
Yeah.
If you're not good enough to play baseball like David Ortiz, how are you one of the greatest players ever? He skips half his work. I don't even have to catch the baseball. Him and Edgar Martinez both, and they're great at what they do. They're specialists, but we don't put a lot of punters and kickers in the Football Hall of Fame. I'll say that.
Ray Guy. I think Ray Guy's the only.
That's what I'm saying.
In, yeah.
Craig Hodges is not in the NBA Hall of Fame, I don't believe, or the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's not even NBA Hall of Fame because he could shoot 3-pointers. It's just I don't the closer thing that bothers me a little bit. The 100%, y'all Yankees people just ridiculous on that. That proves the whole voting process right there.
I didn't vote for
I'm
him.
not saying you. I'm just saying that's what Chipper, as far as what Chipper's saying, is that like that one in general proves it. How about this? Ichiro gets in. Most hits after the age 30 by a Major League Baseball player in the 3,000 hit club.
So these are hits by somebody
after the age. This is before the age of 30.
Before the age of 26.
Oh, I said 30. Yeah, okay, I got those numbers mixed up. The 3,000 hit club through age 26. So this is how many hits everyone had through 26 years of their life. Each of you had 0.
He'd be knocking on the all-time hits record if he had started in the majors.
He actually has the most.
After what age, Kevin?
This is 26. Through 26. So after 26 years of.
Yeah.
And remember, Stan Musial took like 3 years off for war.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see who else was in the wars in there.
Is Teddy Ballgame in there?
Mm-hmm.
But part of the reason he's not in there is probably
He was war earlier.
Military. DiMaggio, I don't know how many he had, but he missed some due to the war.
All right, fine. I got a bunch of them.
You mean people used to care about their country?
All right. Does anyone know who Anthony Santander is?
Yes, just signed a contract with the Blue Jays, I believe.
Anthony Santander.
He was with the Orioles, and I think he signed with the Blue Jays.
He batted .235, 44 homers, 102 RBIs, 140 hits. Barry Bonds' biggest contract was 5 years, $90 million. That dude just signed for 5 years, $90 million.
Inflation, Kevin. Inflation.
The basketball guys have to hate. I know, like the Scottie Pippins of the world that made like $2 and $3 million a year. Looking at these guys now sitting on the bench making 8 and 10, just gotta hate that. Here's Chipper. If I want to ask Hall of Famers one question. If Andrew Jones plays for the New York Yankees for 15 years with 10 Gold Gloves, 400 homers, and 1,300 RBIs, is he a Hall of Famer? Let me answer for you. First ballot. Time to have a conversation about the Hall of Famers chiming in. 75 members can make sure it's right.
That's a fair argument. Especially, I mean, the guys who earned to get the right to get in there. Yeah, give them a vote. I'm not opposed to that.
So it's the writers that vote them in, right?
Yes.
The journalists.
You know how you get to be a voter? You don't even have to be a baseball writer. You just pay a fee for 10 years. Mm-hmm. So, Tom, all you got to do is go on the baseball thing, sign up your name on it right now, and in 10 years, you just got to pay the fee for 10 years. In 10 years, you can start voting for Baseball Hall of Fame.
So people like Paul Feinbaum can be a Hall of Fame voter.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's a joke. That's an absolute joke.
Most seasons with 150 games played, 25 homers and a Gold Glove. Andrew Jones, 10. Next closest is Willie Mays at 7, and Mike Schmidt, Bonds, and Nolan Arenado, the Cardinals, at 6.
Because who knows baseball players?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, it's just one of those things that if you're a baseball player, you know who a ball player is.
Yep.
So why are these geeky little guys sitting behind laptops deciding that Andrew Jones isn't in the Hall of Fame? It's just dumb.
He almost made it look too easy. And
he was good.
That's
the
problem.
That's what I'm telling you. I mean, he just was effortless.
Yeah.
The range.
They say the same thing on Jim Edmonds.
Yeah.
Like, both of them should be in the Hall of Fame. Like, you just can't tell me. If you tell me, without even arguing, Terry, should I not be able to come to you and say, the 5 best defensive players in 160 years of baseball at each position should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, it should be.
Correct? You want Don Mattingly? You want Ozzie Smith? You want Omar Vizquel? You want Andrew Jones? 120 years. Give me 5 defensive players.
Fair. Yep.
That's all I'm asking. Yep. Y'all think Juan Soto's pretty good?
I saw this earlier this week.
He's not as good as Brian Giles used to be.
Look at that. Nobody knows it because he was with the Pirates at the time.
Because WAR is the most important stat. And and Terry, remember we argued this for years, and I said the most important thing about WAR and the reason it gives Mike Trout his WAR numbers is the on-base percentage. Brian Giles beats Juan Soto at everything except on-base percentage, and Soto has a higher WAR. I've been telling y'all that for years, just looking at that mathematical equation. You can't have that in there and the walks equaling the hits.
And he's only 3 points behind him on
They equal walks to hit. A walk is not the same thing as a hit, ever. And they equal that to
Y'all proved me wrong on that. I tried to make that argument months ago, and y'all proved me wrong.
Well, look at that. Yep, there's your Brian Giles. Is way better than Juan Soto. Was he juicing? He looks like it.
I don't think he's way better, but it's definitely very, very similar.
It's a compelling argument.
That was Chipper Jones posting that.
It's compelling.
Well, I mean, there's his lies, there's damn lies, and then there's what the
statistics,
sports media tells
Soto
you.
is pretty good.
It's just, I'm not saying he's not good.
Soto, though, and I forget who made this. It might have been Buster Olney. I understood his argument about why he's not worth. Obviously, people make the argument no player's worth the money they're paying him, but why this contract is way out of line compared to Shohei. The Dodgers signed Shohei to the contract they signed him to, disregard the injuries and everything, because you're not only getting a two-way player when he's healthy, he's going to be pitching. You're not only getting that two-way player, you're paying that money for the cultural impact you're having on an entire different country. And go look at the Japanese Baseball League right now. Their stores are filled with Dodgers jerseys. They just signed the #1 pitcher coming from Japan last year. They just signed the #1 pitcher that any team could afford this year from Japan. Their rotation could potentially be historic. We don't know that, but could potentially be historic this year with all the signings, with Glass now going to be healthy. Shohei's signing is going to bring in a lot of money from an entirely different revenue stream from an entirely different part of the world. Juan Soto's is not going to do that. It's not going to have that impact beyond what he does on the field. So I think there's a valid argument to be made that the Mets overpaid him. Yes, he's a fantastic baseball player. Yes, he's a phenomenal hitter. And yes, you hope he's a cornerstone of your lineup for many years to come. But after about 5, maybe 7 seasons, that bat speed's going to start slowing down.
Listen, with no
and he's not a defensive player.
With no salary cap, you can't overpay anyone in baseball.
How do we look at that though, Chip and Tom? I'm asking y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, so say Soto decides to go over to Japan. People over here never hear about him.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference in him coming here and being that much more?
Because Major League Baseball is the highest level. It's global. Major League Baseball is global.
But we're not going to hear about what Soto does over there.
Yeah, that's what I'm. But that's
it's
my
not going to be part of us.
That's my point, because Major League Baseball is global, whereas the Japanese league and the South Korean leagues are national.
Regional.
That's the difference. Yeah. They're national leagues as opposed to Major League Baseball, which is global. The NBA is global.
Major MLB is something that Japan, even with their own leagues, Japan, North Korea, they care about it.
Ichiro has the most in baseball history.
Yeah,
at 4,367 hits combined in Japan. He had 3,000 in Major League.
Yeah, but we don't care what he did.
It's close, like I said.
All right, I know you don't, Terry, but hold on. All right,
I mean, I don't.
I got a bunch of stuff here. All right, home runs. Well, I want to stay in the Hall of Fame stuff first. Yeah, Chipper was also complaining. He posted a video of Eric Gregg and calling against the Marlins about how wide a strike zone was. And people are ripping him about the Brave staff having wide strike zone too, and he can't say nothing.
Yeah,
like, come on,
fair.
Chipper, that's not not your fight, bro.
Look at some of the calls that Maddox got. I mean, you're talking those balls were 6 inches off the plate.
I will argue though, he had a nasty 2-seamer though.
They wrote what is it? Bull Durham was about Greg Maddox. He was hitting the mascots, and the umpire started calling him strikes. Now all of a sudden, he's a Major League Baseball player.
Bull came out before Greg Maddox.
I know, that's what I said. All right, there you go, Terry. 100, exact same number of games. Yep. Ohtani, 1 more home run than Ruth.
1 loss, 1 extra loss.
1 loss pitching than Ruth. Same number of innings pitched.
That's uncanny.
Exact same thing.
Yeah,
he's not that good.
Oh my gosh, Terry.
How about some nostalgia? How about some old baseball logos? Old hand-drawn ones. Every one of them's full name is on there except one. Why is it cards? It bothered me. Mm-hmm. And then I want to know what this Red Sox guy's doing. He looks awful questionable.
Look at that,
Terry.
Look at that Indians one. That's awesome. Look at that.
He's got
Indians
a loincloth and a catcher's mitt.
I know.
But I just think Mr. Red Sox is, and Mr. White Sox may be a little bit too happy to to grace the pages of this magazine.
Back in the day, you used to get those on cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say this: ESPN did an article about it, and this is the pot calling the kettle black. I know y'all throw it right into the large payroll teams, and y'all laugh at me. I do think the conversation about a salary cap is going to have to start becoming more serious in MLB. You've got 2 teams right now, that are making the Yankees. The Yankees aren't able to keep up with them spending wise. That's the irony of it.
Oh, now it is salary cap because the Yankees can't keep up.
I made that argument weeks ago before we ever got to this point.
Great point.
Yeah,
I made that.
Oh God. Okay, I hear you, Nick Saban.
Stop it. I've argued that they should have a salary cap for years.
Thing.
I've argued for a salary cap for years.
All right, who? Chip, without looking.
Not looking. Thanks.
Who is the all-time leader in games played in the Hall of Fame for the Marlins?
Oh, my gosh.
Here's your choices. Piazza, Hoffman, Raines, Dawson, Pudge, and Ichiro.
They had to play the games for the Marlins?
Yeah, played for the Marlins. And the most games played for him is 432. Ichiro, Pudge, Dawson, Raines, Hoffman, Piazza. Raines, Dawson, Rodriguez, Hoffman, Piazza, Ichiro. Who's the most? Who's the all-time Marlins games played?
Was it Pudge? Did Pudge
Nope,
play?
he's second.
I'd say Piazza.
He's last. He only played 5 games.
I was about to say he only played.
They got rid of him.
Probably Dawson.
It was Ichiro.
Oh.
Ichiro is the official all-time.
How many seasons did he play in the Marlins?
3. He played 432 games.
I did not realize I thought he played like a season or 2 with them.
All right, Chip, Mr. Yankee.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, you did indeed. Here's that Yankee voting.
Yep.
Kurt Schilling's not in the Hall of Fame, but C.C. Sabathia is.
Schilling's being penalized for comments he made. He should be a Hall of Famer.
Yep. Schilling is being penalized for being a Republican.
Yes. Yeah. That's fair.
We'll see if it changes now. They got a new president. Schilling might get some.
Can we just? I think Trump needs to change the name of it. Like he's changing the name of everything else. Change it from
If
the Hall
somebody tells him about it, he might talk about it.
from the Hall of Fame to the Hall of Morals.
He'll just turn. He's like one of those people you just like give a subject
Give
to.
a little nudge.
He sees the elf. Oh, let's talk about these elves for a little bit.
This is a fantastic
Squirrels. Whatever that movie was. Up. All right. There's the Brian Giles. There's the Soto. All right, Tom. This is what I want to talk to you about, Mr. Historian.
Mm-hmm.
Think you can nail these?
I'd never call myself a historian.
history buff.
I'm not. I would not call myself that.
One who teaches history.
Okay, there you go.
I don't know. I have to review the tapes. You've said a lot over the years.
He's an institution. He's an institution.
I know.
Last week.
I know. What type of an institution?
Y'all don't understand hyperbole. See, y'all have no concept of hyperbole.
All right.
Okay.
The most home runs under each president.
The most home runs under each president.
We're going to start the very first president. How about this, Tom? Who's the very first president with baseball was under?
With baseball?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you'd go back to Harrison, President Harrison.
I'm going to tell you what. He says he's not a history
That's
buff,
pretty impressive.
but he nailed it.
Which Harrison?
Yeah, Benjamin Harrison.
Harrison is the exact answer.
Yeah. That's really good, Tom. That's pretty
Now,
impressive.
Yeah, he was wedged in between
now.
the two Grover Cleveland presidents.
Yeah, there you go.
I was about to say if he was wedged between them, then the Cleveland's the answer because both Cleveland presidencies are on here. They've just got it above Harrison.
Yeah.
So then Cleveland is your answer.
I knew it was. Yeah, I knew it was there in the 18.
That's impressive, Tom.
1880s.
Then who do you then? No, this will be impressive. This is where he gets his bonus points. Sticker on his check next week. Who has the all-time home runs for those presidents?
No, I don't know. I have no idea.
Whoever H. Stovey is and S. Thompson. McKinley had Freeman. Roosevelt had Davis. Taft had Schulte. Wilson had Cravath. Then we get to somebody we know. Harding and Coolidge and Hoover had Babe Ruth. Who was FDR's home run champion?
Well, FDR was president all the way up. I mean, he was president longer than anybody else.
Up to this point.
Jimmy Fox.
Wouldn't have known that.
Truman. You
No,
ain't gonna get
I
that one either.
never-
Ralph Kiner.
Yeah, never would have got that one.
How about Eisenhower? Atlanta Brave. How about a nickname for that one? I mean, a hint. Atlanta Brave led the Eisenhower administration. No guesses from our Braves affiliate here? From our Royals, Yankees, and Indians fan? That'd be Eddie Matthews. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. How about President John F. Kennedy?
He wasn't there very long. John F. Kennedy.
Terry?
John F. Kennedy.
How about Mr. Harmon Killebrew?
Harmon Killebrew.
You guys are terrible at this. You nailed the first one. How about Johnson?
That was mid to late 60s.
I know the next two. I'm going to keep my head down. I'm going to try to figure out after this. These next two.
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays.
How about Nixon?
Don't overthink this one.
Yeah, Aaron.
There you go.
Heck, Aaron, yeah.
The next three, Ford, Carter, and Reagan, are all the same guy.
Yeah, see, that was 70s
I'm going to say
to the 80s.
Mike Schmidt.
That's what I was thinking, Mike Smith, but I don't think it's him.
It is him.
Is it really?
Mike Schmidt, the
Yeah.
three-time
Best guess I have.
presidential champion. How about H.W. Bush, the first Bush? Who's the home run Desert Storm champion?
Early 90s.
Cecil Fielder?
No, not a bad guess.
Not a bad guess.
He's an Atlanta Brave. I'll give you a hint.
Oh,
But he wasn't a Brave during this administration. That's your other hint. I don't think he was a Brave during this administration. I'm pretty sure I'm about 99%.
it's not Greg Maddox.
No, it's not. It's not Maddox. How about the Crime Dog?
Oh,
Fred
yeah,
McGriff.
good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fred McGriff.
How about Bill Clinton's home run champion?
Bonds.
Nope.
Really?
Bonds is not on the list.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you that hint to forget it so you don't have to think about the next few ones.
Uh,
Bill Clinton in the 90s.
Sosa.
No,
Mark
in the
McGuire.
90s.
Mark McGuire?
Nope, that's a good guess. Who's the greatest baseball player nobody ever talks about anymore for some reason?
Ken Griffey.
There you go.
Ken Griffey.
Yep.
They'll talk Mike Trout and his on base percentage for it, Griffey now. That's like talk about Joey Logano for Jimmy Johnson, Terry.
Yep.
All right, who's after Griffey? W. Bush. W. Bush. Who's the chat for W?
You said Bonds is not on here.
This guy's not in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he's going to get in.
Rafael Palmeiro.
A-Rod.
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 Obama is Albert Pujols.
Yep.
Who is Joe Biden?
Bryce Harper.
Judge.
Aaron Judge. And so far, during the first administration, who is Trump's home run king?
Giancarlo Stanton.
Nope. The greatest player of all time.
Oh, Trout.
Mike Trout. All right, well, any other baseball comments, guys, on the Hall of Fame or anything?
I definitely think more than three guys should have got in, and I think the best point made was we need to reconsider how we let guys in instead of letting these little nerds behind their computers decide who's in. Let the baseball guys know baseball guys. Let the baseball guys.
I agree.
They need to have some. They need to have some say in it.
But I don't think you need to go wacky with how many people you're letting in.
No, you're right.
I think NASCAR has went too much overboard there.
I don't think
they got a YMCA.
Well, they only got so many drivers, and they're just throwing everybody in.
It's like,
baseball's got like a way more lot of people.
It's like a Hall of Fame. It's like you don't. No Hall of Fame should dictate how many people should go in every year.
Yeah,
And I'm not. MLB doesn't do that, but it's you.
Remember, they were hot dog eaters back then. Beer drinkers. That's Jimmy Fox. He was his 500 home runs.
He was the hoss.
But I'm just telling you, man. Back then, like people had muscles from like putting up fences and
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
He probably built a brick home.
Cinderella man.
I mean, like people have muscles because they like did stuff.
Yeah.
All right, our final announcement may be coming true, Tom. The week of executive orders. I know you love history and presidential things. How about this one? How about Chief Wahoo of the Redskins coming back? President Trump to make it happen. Just slide it in the stack, Tom. It might happen. Just slide it in there. It might happen. All right, we'll be back in a minute. KDCBroadcasting.com.
For 5 years, Final Plunge Plumbing has won the prestigious Community Choice Award for Gaston County. Final Plunge Plumbing is a full-service plumbing company offering water and sewer main repairs, water heater replacement, and repairs with names like Ream, State Select, Renai, and Navian. And they provide upfront pricing, so there's no surprise when you get your bill. First-time customers receive a 10% discount up to $500. Choose the best and take the plunge with Final Plunge Plumbing. Call 704-860-5889 or find them online at finalplunge.com.
Now's the time to start thinking about the cold winter weather. Be ready with a stop in at Today's Pro in Shelby. They have the fireplace inserts that help make your home warm and comfortable. Take a look at the Malaysian and Empire inserts. And Today's Pro can do installs or repair your current inserts. Plus, they have vent-free freestanding stoves. And don't forget they can refill your propane tanks. That's Today's Pro, 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at todayspro.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
Speed Queen, Speed Queen, and Speed Queen. We just named the top 3 manufacturers of washers and dryers. It's all Speed Queen. And they're waiting for you at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. Top load and front load models to choose from. And just arrived, a big new shipment of Frigidaire, scratch and dented washers, dryers, refrigerators, freezers, and more. Don't wait. Come on in now to Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center. 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. On the right going down, on the left coming up. Laundry has never been easier than it is now with a stop in at Family Coin Laundry in Lincoln. In 4 minutes, laundry is done. 2 minutes to drop it off and 2 minutes to pick it up. They do all the rest, featuring wash, dry, and fold services. And they have the big 80-pound washer and large dryers. From a shirt or a skirt to a big king-size bed sheet. They do it all. Get it clean at Family Coin Laundry on Vandiver Drive off North Aspen Street in Lincoln. Open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. Grizzly the Greeter says if you have run out of space to store all those new Christmas decorations, head to Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes in Cherryville for a new Liberty Shed. Maybe things are piling up, or how about a carport or Liberty Shed to keep those vehicles protected from the cold winter weather? See Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes. And be sure to check out the new Tiny Homes with big New Year savings. Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right across from Ace Hardware. Online at blessedbuildings-tinyhome.com. Your Liberty Shed dealer.
You could be our 2025 KTC Broadcasting Valentine, and you could be the winner of a $500 shopping spree at one of our local merchants, a dozen red roses, dinner for 2, a gold bracelet, and a big box of Valentine candy. Register today at Alley's Cafe, Highway 180 North in Shelby, at Marburger Chevrolet, West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, at Whiskey Mill Bar and Grill on South Lafayette Street in Gastonia, at Gaston Used Auto Parts on Dogwood Street in Gastonia, at Bruner's Automotive on East Main Street in Cherryville, at Eric Johnson's Auto Sales on Tryon Courthouse Road in Cherryville, at the Green Leaf Relief Highway 10 in Vale, at the Captain's Cap Family Fish House on Linwood Road in Gastonia, at Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain, and at Innovative Pools on East King Street in Kings Mountain. The drawing will be held Friday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Yes, you could be our 2025 Valentine's sweetheart. Also register at Tops Pizza in Falston, at Diamond Ponds on South Lafayette Street in Shelby.
And we're back on Saturday More Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. Talking about some more sports.
All right, JP, welcome back. We'll talk a little basketball here before we get over to the NFL. NBA, I'm trying to find out some of my stuff here. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. How about this is a little comment from Dan Marley this week in an interview. Hit the button there, Chip.
He talked about going into that series. I don't know if you saw Jordan's documentary in the last dance, but he talked about going into that series. Their GM, Jerry Krause, had talked about how much he loved you, and they knew that, and Jordan knew that, and Scotty knew that. You were the guy. Jordan always picked a guy. It's like, this is going to motivate him.
Yeah, I was
you were
happy
the guy.
about that.
Did you know at the time that he had targeted you?
I didn't know that until I actually
make his life
I didn't know that until I watched The Last Dance. I really
no
didn't.
shit?
I was sitting there on the couch watching this, and I was thinking, okay, is he going to mention me? I hope he doesn't kill me. I think maybe he shouldn't mention me. So when he said that, I was just as shocked as anybody that he would say that. But and people bring that up to me all the time. Like I think it's a badge of honor. I mean, the greatest player in the world.
You got his attention.
Is trying to kill me, which he did, and it doesn't make me feel anyway because he is the greatest player in the world. That guy was so great, not only offensively but defensively. If he wanted to score on you, he's going to score on you. If he didn't want you to score, you weren't scoring. My whole philosophy of playing Jordan was to talk golf. That's all I did.
Smart.
I was like, hey, Mike, how's the game? What kind of ball you playing? What's your driver? How you doing?
You're guarding him right there. You're
well, my thing is, I'm just trying to keep him mellow, so maybe he'll give me 35. Because if I piss him off, he's going to give me 55. Right? So I'm just talking golf. So I didn't know that was one of his motivations, and now it kind of makes sense.
Were you guarding him on the defensive side?
We kept on switching because I tried it. Kevin tried it. Okay, Johnson. They put Richard Dumas. We put everybody on him, and he would have great Danny Ainge. He would just, like I said, the guy was
unbelievable. And he carried their team. He was that good.
Just talking about how talk golf, so they didn't put 55 on me. Oh, Cavs still first, Tom?
Yeah, they lost 2 in a row. They lost by 1 point to Houston, and then they lost by, I think, 2 points to Philadelphia. So they've got a couple injuries. Mobley's been out, and I want to say LeVert's been hurt. It just it's going to happen in an 82-game season.
It will.
They're still 5.5 up.
They've only lost single-digit games for the season, man.
Y'all doing good. Y'all doing good.
I mean, there's a lot of
still
basketball.
not win 4 out of 7.
A lot. Yeah. I mean, this guy. Shut up. I mean, everybody. Nobody else can talk because he's over here mumbling to himself like a madman in the rain. But I'm just telling
Tom,
you.
you know that.
I know you're a madman. Yes, I do know that.
As we're sitting here, when it all comes to the end.
When all comes to the end,
You're
what's
not
going to happen?
win 4 out of 7.
What's going to happen? Terry, you don't. Man, you don't.
You
don't even. Who's your coach? What's
You
the
know
name?
that.
What's the name of the coach in Boston?
You know that, Tom.
So a guy who doesn't know the name.
That ain't the point. I don't have
That
to go there.
He knows
I don't
basketball,
have to
though.
go there. I don't have to go.
But
there.
I did.
Y'all
went
do this every
I
week to
went
me.
there.
I quit.
I know. You think because we do it every week, you would actually Google search the name of the Boston coach.
I mean, that's
You
like
don't
when I
know.
said Smith the
You
other day.
don't
Everybody's
know
like, well, you don't even know his first name.
You
know what? I'm not answering stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I mean, it just shows your lack of knowledge about
No,
what you're
that's not.
arguing
It's nothing. That has nothing to do with
I'm excited about Coach
So
R back and what he's going to do the rest of the year with the Celtics.
I mean, it's just crazy. He's a troll, but he doesn't know how to be a troll.
No, y'all have to win.
He's like a troll that stands
Y'all-
on the
it makes
bridge
y'all look
instead
good,
of
Tom.
under. He's like a troll that's on the bridge instead of under it.
Tom,
he's-
it's
he don't
making
even know
y'all
how to be
look
a troll.
good.
He doesn't even know how to be a troll.
I mean, 4 out of 7. When you can come and do that, then I'll believe in you.
Okay, because it's just like you said. Ohio State couldn't beat Notre Dame, so I mean,
Yeah, that's a one-game thing. Now we're talking 4
Da,
out
da,
of
da,
7.
Now, in other news, the Charlotte Hornets are 11-30.
They won a couple in a row.
Brandon Miller's out for the season now.
Yeah,
he's done.
It's okay. They got LaMelo.
Yeah.
It
Got
is.
LaMelo.
Oh, now they mad because he's not a starter. What? Who cares?
On an 11-30 team.
I know.
They want him to start in the
Yes.
All-Star game.
Yes, that's all I heard this morning. I'm like, okay, guys, he's probably the only player they got now.
We've got this video game mentality, these folks, where just because someone scores 27, they think that no one else is helping him or he has no
Curry
help.
does that.
And that they're not helping the team or that nobody's helping them. And like me and Terry said for years, it's the complete opposite. LaMelo is taking 24, I think, shots a game. Let's see, NBA stats real quick. He's, fourth in the league in scoring. And he's taking 24 shots a game. He's averaging 29. So, 24 points, Terry, on 29 shots. Now, for years I've talked, I hadn't even looked this up yet. For years I've talked about how efficient Kevin Durant is. Let's see. For example, LaMelo's averaging 29. Durant averaging 27.2. Durant takes 18 shots a game.
Yeah, more than 10 less.
LaMelo takes 12 threes a game. And Kevin Durant is taking 18 shots a game. Our point guard is taking 12 threes. That's an average. That means he might take 15 or 16 tonight.
I mean, we go back to what we said last week. A player playing point guard, he really should be a 2.
Correct. And I don't care which franchise he goes and plays a 2-4. I'm just tired of watching it for ours. We told you when we drafted him, this should be nothing but losing years.
Trade him now. Trade him at his max
So,
value.
well, we're going to talk about that in a second real quick. I want to talk about Michael's attempts. All right? Attempts a game. 1, 2, 3, 4 years in his career, he shot 24 attempts a game. Only 4 in his career. Those years, he averaged 37, 35, 33, and 32.
Yeah.
Stop shooting at LaMelo. the coach.
Kevin.
Somebody's got to tell you.
Kevin, how's he supposed to keep up his Instagram reel if he doesn't keep shooting the basketball?
He should be averaging about 18 points a game and running the team.
He should be averaging a double-double with assists and points.
You'd be surprised at the number of kids when they do something. They in a basketball game or anything, they look to the bench and just see if anybody says, put that on Snapchat. That's the way these people think.
My boy from last year made the All-Stars. He was in practice the other day, and I was watching, and he missed like 8 or 9 straight shots. And they were like in the paint. He's working. I'm like, come on, you just got to keep working. He was struggling. He turns around and hits a 3. And Terry, he skips down the court with ice vein pumping in his hands.
I can believe
it. Neo! He looked at us and said, take the ice out your vein. You just missed 9 straight.
Yeah.
But he said, no, cutest kid, love him to death. But like you just said, Tom, that is 100%.
All it takes is one.
But I tell
they'll
you
hit
what,
that 1 out of 5, and it looks cool, and you're just like,
look, he'll hit 1 out of 5, but the one he hit will go on his Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me!
He'll make $10,000 from that.
I'm a sniper.
It'll be his highlight video.
So how do you become an NBA All-Star starter? Combination of fan votes is 50%. Media and player votes is split. The All-Star starters: Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Karl Anthony Towns, Jason Tatum, and Giannis. I can't say it.
Antetokounmpo.
It's close enough.
And everybody's mad because LaMelo's not the starter.
In the West, Stephen Curry, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kevin Durant, LeBron, and Nikola Jokic.
Does Curry still have the numbers to warrant that? Or is he like a Cal Ripken?
No,
type
Curry
thing?
learned his job.
LeBron's the one that's the Cal Ripken
I said,
one in that group, Tom.
Where's Jordan's son?
Curry is the
Ant.
He didn't get voted in. They're not doing good this year because they got that lazy power forward playing for them. Steph Curry is the oldest starting point guard in NBA All-Star.
He learned his job. Stephen Curry
in
learned his job this past week.
What's that, Terry?
I'll put it simple as it can be.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, Draymond Green went out, got a calf strain. So the next 2 games that Golden State plays, they get blown out. Why? Because Draymond's not there. It's simple. It does not hurt me to say that.
I'm entertained. I'm just watching
But
Tom's
then,
reaction to this
on
right
the
now.
third one, what do you need? What do you need from Steph that he does not do? Throw, have assist, have an assist here, have an assist here. You're the point guard. Do what your job is. You know what? 3rd game out, he has 12 assists. Golden State wins. He learned his job. It's simple. Somebody has to be that man. Where Draymond's always been that man, all of a sudden Draymond's gone. They don't know what to do. Boston beats them by 40. I mean, the man has to learn his job, and he finally learned it.
Terry makes 19 terrible points to make 1 good one in there, which he don't know he made. Draymond does stand at the top of the key and pass the ball to Steph Curry.
Somebody has to be the assistant.
So somebody has to do that.
I wonder if I could do that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Steph and Tom, here's how and here's how that's worked throughout the years is, yes, he's not one of the best defenders, and yes, he doesn't get the point. Yes, he doesn't get all the assists, but he still gets 7, 8 assists, whatever it is. But like Klay Thompson at the shooting guard allowed him to be able to guard whoever the best guard was. Once he got hurt, they're done. Neither one of them is guarding the best guard now. So now they're running around like that. He ain't got nobody to pass it to now because Draymond got rid of Harrison Barnes, Kevin Durant, and who's the last one? Somebody else.
Who's the young kid that they got rid of?
Wiggins still there? Is he still?
Wiggins is still there.
Yeah, he knocked out Jordan Poole, and they got rid of him.
Poole's the one that was talking crap when Golden State went there to play them.
Is Wiggins still there?
And
Did you say Wiggins?
Draymond looked at him and said, "Listen here, buddy. That's 3 years ago.
Klay Thompson ain't
Quit
there.
talking to me."
They got rid of Draymond. They got rid of Kevin Durant, Harrison Barnes, and Klay Thompson for a triple single. All because they didn't want to hear his mouth. All right, here's Steph talking about what they actually need, Terry. Not whatever you just said. Not what you just said.
Process a loss like this.
I have no idea. It's just a tough one from the end of the first quarter through the rest of the game. Thought we came out with pretty good life and energy. big part of our season has been when we can't score, we lose spirit.
Well, why don't the power forward pitch in and score, Terry?
That's probably after Boston had just destroyed them.
A big part of our reason is
because
we
Draymond
can't score.
wasn't there.
Maybe we shouldn't have traded Harrison
Draymond
Barnes
wasn't in
and
the
Kevin
game.
Durant and Klay Thompson.
I know what
maybe.
Draymond was not there.
The only one I'll give you some grace on is Klay Thompson because he just never was the same player.
No, he is after he got hurt. He was.
But I mean, it's
the
not Klay Thompson's fault. I mean, he got hurt. It's hard to overcome. But it's just silly that I just don't understand this girlish attachment to Draymond Green, who is an absolute joke. Not only a joke, a disgrace.
Eating up the salary cap. If you're going to pay $5 million. But don't eat up the salary cap to pay someone $9 million when you could have Kevin Durant on your team.
Yeah, it's just a disgrace.
No, Kevin Durant, he ain't won nothing since he left.
Oh my gosh!
I know he's not playing
That's all
Steph
I gotta
Curry.
say.
All right, let's see. I think I had another one maybe. Steve Kerr. They ask him if him and Greg Popovich absolutely hate our new president, and they'll ask him about basketball, and they just don't even talk about basketball. They talk about how much they hate the new president. So they asked Steve Kerr if he watched the inauguration. He said, "Nope, I chose to watch Celtics tape." Terry, how many did y'all win by?
About 40. Yeah. Like 125 to 85.
See, but
maybe should have watched a little bit more tape.
Don't be a pompous ass about stuff and then be like, I watched Celtics tape and then get beat by 40.
See, but what I don't understand is just like and it's both sides. Just leave the politics out. Just ask them about the game.
Yeah,
why are you even asking about the
No, they
inauguration?
did. They don't ask you. Them two bring it up. They don't ask. They don't go to. Hey, Steve Kerr, tell me what you think about this. They'll be like, "How bad you play tonight?" And he'll be like, "Well, our president."
I'm talking all sides. I'm not just talking like the reporters. Just stick to basketball.
Stay in your lane.
And you know what? One of the best lines. I know that he gets criticized for it, but remember when Michael Jordan said Republicans buy shoes too?
Yeah.
He just basically, look, man, I stick to basketball. This is basketball. I play basketball, and I know a lot of these athletes, well, they have a voice, so then they want to cross the line and get political. It's like, dude, somebody who's got 100,000 times the wealth I do, why am I going to listen to you and take any advice from you? Yeah. Especially when I'm educated, I can take in information. I don't need Oprah Winfrey or Steve Kerr or anybody for that matter to tell me information that I need to base a political decision on. So why are we going to these people in the first place?
Yeah. All right, last night at 10 o'clock, did y'all see it? 10 p.m. Eastern, breaking news across the country.
I was packing up the KTC equipment.
America's team announced their head coach hiring, Tom.
Yeah, who'd they hire?
At 10 o'clock on a Friday night. Hey, did y'all know that White Yoda looks like Jerry Jones?
JP, how you feel about that?
Hey, you don't know who Jerry Jones is.
Looks like
I know Tom would like that.
He looks like that.
So that was a joke. They haven't hired their coach.
No, they have.
We have.
Who's the coach?
We'll be back in a minute to talk about hiring the offensive coordinator. Okay. We'll be back in a minute. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Get up to $3,000 off select Polaris off-road vehicles at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Or get financing as low as 1.99% APR for 36 months. But that's not all. Get up to $1,500 bonus bucks on new Honda Pioneer, Prowler, Talon models. And rev up the new year with the new Slingshot. Get $1,000 customer cash or financing as low as 1.99% for 36 months with no money down at Full Throttle Power Sports. 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
Keep warm with a stop at This and That Trading Post in Dallas. They've just received a big shipment of fleece blankets for $10.25. Also, Tommy Bahama down pillows are $8.25. 6-piece bath sets are $11. And personal handy heaters wear around your neck for $13.25. This and That Trading Post has video car DVRs for $23.75. Floating hearts for Valentine's are $7. Lighting magnifying glasses are $3.50. And 1 gallon size of laundry scent beads are $13.50 at This and That Trading Post, 3857 Dallas High Shoals Road in Dallas, right across from the trade lot.
Now you can see what's going on by calling Heath Jackson Plumbing in Cherryville. Ask about the rigid camera system. You, the customer, can actually see what's going on with your sewage drain lines and what's got to be done. And be sure to ask about their tankless water heaters, serviced or installed. Call 704-634-5784 for Heath Jackson Plumbing in Cherryville. Like them on Facebook, too. Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Piedmont of North and South Carolina since 1919. Sure, they deliver to your home with home heating oils. They'll help keep you warm, but they do a whole lot more. They feature bulk fuel delivery, on-site and commercial fueling, backup generator fueling, and farm and agricultural fueling. For home or business or farms, call on Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln, 704-735-2508. Online at rhodesandbill.com, located at 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
This month's Scholar Athlete of the Month is Sarah Ryan of Lincoln High School. The award is sponsored by McDonald's, KTC Broadcasting, and WhatsUpShopper.com. Sarah is a senior at Lincoln High School and the daughter of Chris and Heather Ryan. Heather plays basketball and volleyball. She has a 4.72 grade point average. Her AP classes include literature, English, language, and composition, world history, psychology, human geography, U.S. history, pre-calculus, statistics, and communications. Her community activities include volunteering at Christian Ministries, Community Color Run 5K Volunteer, Special Olympics, Hesed House Volunteer, and Project Unity basketball games. She's a member of the Covenant Church, where she is involved in Sunday school, trunk or treat, and the community night of worship. After graduation, Sarah plans to attend a four-year college and major in business. The Scholar Athlete of the Month recognizes the accomplishments in athletics and for overall achievements in the classroom and community. Sponsored by McDonald's, KTC Broadcasting, and WhatsUpShopper.com. The Don Gibson Theater, located at 318 South Washington Street in Shelby, features the best in national artists from all around the country. Blues, bluegrass, country, and rock, among other genres. Coming Saturday, February 1st at 8 p.m. is country star Wade Hayes. On February 8th at 8 p.m. it's the Flat River Band. And on Valentine's Night, February 14th at 8 and again at 9:30, it's the unique and comedy experience with the Cleverleys. For tickets and information, call 704-487-8114 or stop by the box office today.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. I think they're going NFL now.
There you go. Dynamite intro, JP.
We're watching what changed the NFL forever. The NFL's pretty boy. The guy they wish won 7 Super Bowls, Peyton Manning. His poor little wide receivers, Terry, used to get smoked by the New England Patriots. And then they started putting in the rules. We're going to protect the quarterback. We're going to protect the wide receiver. We can't do this. We used to have a proper country. You used to hit people. Look, if it touches your hands, I can smoke you. But now you can't even touch them.
Why did the receiver not catch that ball?
Well, that's the number one point. Ooh! But yeah, they petitioned the league after they got beat 2 years in a row, and the DBs were playing too hard and get them off of them. So
yeah, Jack Tatum said, "I'm glad I played back then."
A lot of people are glad they were. How about Kansas City was favored by 9.5? They took an intentional safety to win by 11. Ran out from the 20-yard line, Dom, with the spread on the line. Nothing's fixed. Nothing's fixed ever. Terry, we've talked about this plenty of times. What do you do to a running quarterback?
If he runs the ball 10 times, he's going to go to the blue tent once. Yeah. I promise you that. And I won't feel bad about it. I'll look you right in the eye right now. This isn't about friendship. If he puts himself at risk, he's going to pay the price. And if it takes a flag to do it, then it takes a flag to do it.
And that was a Lions fan talking about Daniels, and this is what me and Terry's talked about, why running quarterbacks tend to not be successful once the playoffs start, is between all the running and the cold and the hitting and everything. At some point, they stop letting the multi-million-dollar quarterback tiptoe up the sideline like he's a Cinderella, and they start hitting him. And if you don't hit him, that's why they're successful on you. You have to smoke them, or they're going to do the Pat Mahomes thing every time.
To me, there's only one quarterback that's in the NFL right now who can dish out what he can take.
Josh Allen.
Yes, the only one.
Cam used to.
And Cam never got any flags. They wouldn't call flags for the defenders.
The total yards winner from all the games this weekend lost every game.
Wow.
Poor Mark Andrews.
So this is why
oh gosh.
So this is why when you hear them on TV, they'll say the number one defense. They refer to yards.
Right.
And I don't get that because there's all kinds of junk yards at the end of games. It's points.
I can get if I bend don't break, or I give up a bunch of threes, but I'm scoring a bunch of sevens.
Who cares?
Yeah. Yep.
How about you're from the South when you actually play the game in a full-on Columbia coat?
See, but I don't.
How is that legal?
See, but I don't blame the guy.
I don't either.
I mean, it's just like, dude. I mean, I know we like a lot of these guys.
Zip up. It's
a lot of, seriously, a lot of these guys are alpha males. Okay, they're the ones
Tell you,
that
what's
like
the
it.
punter saying?
Put the picture. Put the picture back up. Look at the guy behind him. Look at the guy behind him.
Yeah. All these guys.
Look at that. No
all these
sleep.
guys are out. They're big. They're strong guys. They're gonna walk around with their shirt off. We're not gonna do that. What are you trying to prove by going out there in bare skin in 0 degree weather? Doesn't impress me. That guy tells me he's got some intelligence.
My wife.
You know what I mean? He's got some intelligence.
My wife
He knows to protect himself from the elements.
has delivered 5 babies, and every time when you go to the hospital, they asked her, "Do you want to try to do all natural birth check?" No. What am I trying to prove? Give me that epidural.
All 4 winning teams turned the ball over 0 times this weekend.
You don't turn
Lamar Jackson's 0-5 in the playoffs when his team scores more than 14 points.
Well, Lamar didn't really choke except for where he tried to make the fantastic play and fumbled. Like if he just goes down, they're okay. But he's trying to.
And that fumble almost looked like a fluke. It was just the cold weather.
It wasn't a fluke. He's got the ball in one hand trying to show the clip. I mean,
I was going to show that. I was going to comment on this. Here's what I don't like about today's football talk. The Ravens blame pie. 10% on a referee's call, 20% on the Ravens coaching staff, 30% on Lamar Jackson, and 40% on Mark Andrews.
He had 2 drops, but still, that ain't 40%.
All of that adds up to 100%. And Terry, I had one crazy Cowboys fan talk about Jackie Smith, and my question was, now Terry, I know you know what my question was, wasn't it? How many points did the defense give up?
Oh, I agree.
If the defense gives up 3 points, are we talking about how good Lamar Jackson is? Without nothing changing, his performance, everything he did, and the defense gave up 3 points and they shut down Josh Allen, we'd be talking about how great of a game that Lamar Jackson played. And there's 0% of that 100% blamed on the defense. Now, what did the defense give up? I don't even know off the top of my head. Y'all remember the final score on that one? I'll get to it.
Baltimore definitely should have won the game if it wasn't for the mistakes.
Baltimore would have won the game if they didn't give up 27 points.
Right, but the mistakes.
If it was 20,
contributed.
If it was
that.
20,
the fumble contributed to that. Yeah.
Well, if it was 25-6, would they have won the game? If it's 25-12, would they won the game? If it's 25-15, they won the game. No, they give up. The defense gave up more than league average.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
And there's 100% blame on everyone else, but the defense that gave up more than league average.
Yeah, there should be some part of the percentage that goes to that. Now, granted, you're playing a very good offense.
But what we do is see one guy drop one pass at the end of the game as opposed to, wait a minute. Let's look up. I'm sure someone else dropped a pass in the game. Let's see. Let's go look at Baltimore's receiving.
Amari Cooper dropped a pass, but he plays for Buffalo.
Yeah. Aguilar 0 for 1 on targets. Henry 0 for 2 on targets. Nobody's talking about Derrick Henry missing his 2 catches.
Derrick Henry.
Oh, he did miss.
He did.
Rashad Bateman missed 1. Isaiah Likely missed 1. Nobody's talking about those misses. Nobody's talking about whether or not Derrick Henry missed a hole or Justice Hill or Lamar Jackson missed a read. We're talking about one guy dropping a pass. And I'm not saying it's
not. The Derrick Henry one could have went either way. That was the pass that didn't get to him.
I think people need to look at it like Tom's saying, that it was a multitude of things.
The Ravens actually,
not one guy or one this.
The Ravens actually did a decent job passing wise. They only gave up 126 yards passing. Now they gave up 147 yards rushing.
They're still not. I mean, that's not a horrible defensive effort.
Yeah, I mean,
Baltimore proved the ability to move the ball more than Buffalo did in that game, but it was, the interception, the fumble. And Kevin makes a good point. Derrick Henry's drop, Likely's drop, Bateman, I think, dropped one. I might be wrong on it, but I know that Andrews dropped a couple, and it was just the moment that he dropped it in.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So and the Bills fans, I don't know if you guys heard that, but they contributed $100,000 to the GoFundMe for his favorite charity.
Oh, wow.
So I think that was good. They showed that was good sportsmanship because Mark Andrews got home and there's death threats in his inbox from idiot fans that couldn't walk up and down the street, nevertheless catch a ball in 5-degree temperatures. when people have been beating on you
on the run.
Right.
All that.
So it was rough conditions. It was a good pass. It should have been caught.
Yeah.
Everybody's going, demonize it. How many great plays has that guy made?
And that catch,
I hate him because he always kills Cleveland. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that catch doesn't give them the win. That just ties the game.
That's all it does.
It just ties, and that's a good thing. You need that, but it just ties it. It doesn't guarantee a victory.
In the last 4 years,
but he also had the one punched out of his hand. So there's a few things that they.
The fumble, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of, Terry.
Yeah.
I think he dropped 2 passes and had a fumble. Yeah. But it's just like, man, what? It's 5 degrees. When in that national championship game when Ibuka fumbled, it was just a perfect, punching the ball.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That's just good defensive play.
It's just a good defensive.
Some of those
play.
you just got to tip your cap.
In the Chiefs' last 11 playoff games over the 4 years, 10 times the opponents had more penalties. 0, the Chiefs had more penalties. 1 time they both had the same.
Oh, Kevin, the refs don't help the Chiefs. That's silly. That's just
10 times the Chiefs had less penalties.
Patrick
out of
Mahomes
11
doesn't
games.
get a call. That's silly. That's just ridiculous.
I got a bunch of little things to touch on. How about you see Joe Mixon? Joe Mixon was fined $25,000 for comments he made about officials, and they listed the comments in the fine. We'll go back and review the tape. He didn't say that. So they ask him about it. He complains that I got fined for something I didn't say. It says I said this. I didn't say it. NFL fined him for complaining about that.
Oh my gosh.
So these guys, he don't even make that money. I don't even know how much Joe Mixon makes, but he can't take $25,000 for nothing. That's $50,000 they just took from him. JJ Watt's down here complaining about it for him. What are we doing, NFL, on this one? How about this Buccaneers situation? Liam Cohen was the Jaguars' top target in the head coach position. He was supposed to interview Wednesday, but went through his name. The Bucs then offered him an extension to become one of the highest-paid coordinators in the league. The Jaguars says bugged out and fired their GM Trent Baalke. Reached out back to Cohen, asked if he would reconsider. Cohen hasn't signed with the Bucs contract yet and started engaging with the Jaguars again. Now Cohen went to the Jacksonville Jaguars facility to finalize the deal. Meanwhile, the Bucs cannot get in touch with him. Him and his agent are not answering phone calls.
He's now the Jaguars head coach.
He's now the Jaguars head coach.
How much tension did that interview have to be between him and the prior GM if he just withdrew his name, and then the fact when they let him go
because he wasn't answering the phone. How about, guys, the Matthew Stafford Jared Goff comparison? How about this? Fourth quarter. 13 minutes left in the game. Sean McVay calls a pass play for Matthew Stafford. Ben Johnson put the ball in the hands of a wide receiver to throw it for Jared Goff. Down 10. Playing a trick play with a wide receiver. So Goff might not be that good. There's the hit the quarterback thing. There's the Peyton thing. 15 NFC. All right, we'll talk about that in a second. All right, Terry, we're almost to you.
You don't have to get to
We're
me.
almost to you. How about this? Bills and Chiefs facing off. Last 10 games, 5 wins, 5 losses, 251 points for each team. Exact number of points. I didn't have to write that twice.
I was about to say 251.
I just realized that.
I'll go ahead and tell you the Bills are a 2.5 point underdog, and I took the money line. Because that's probably a bad bet because the refs are going to help Mahomes get back to the Super Bowl.
That's not going to happen.
Took the money line, Terry. Took the money line.
You're getting ready to lose.
Probably.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll see about that.
That's the late game, isn't it?
Yes.
I gotta show y'all that later. Jeez, I forgot to write that. I think about out of all of my notes, other than Tom, this is one to think about. Remember when I was talking about the defensive end thing and getting your sacks? Here's Cameron Jordan, an actual defensive end, talking about sacks.
I think a sack is an overrated stat.
Is it overrated? What do you think's better, TFL?
Playing the actual game. Winning the game is what's important, but some guys get so caught up in like, I got to get sacks, and we look at it like, oh, he's the best because he had 19 or 20 or 22 sacks, but he's not worth a damn in the run. But we don't talk about it. He's the DPOY, but he's a liability on the outside zone stretch plays.
Yeah.
He's the best, but he swims B gaps and C gaps, and like the linebackers hate him, but you'll never know it.
He's the best, but he runs past the quarterback all the time because he's trying to get around the hump.
He does an 11-yard
He's
hump.
playing Lamar Jackson, and he can run for 40 yards, and it's man coverage. That's his gap, and it's 3rd and 12, and the team shouldn't have any shot of getting that 3rd down, but you ran past the quarterback. But you got to sack the play before.
Right. You look at the stat sheets like, he killed it. What else did he do for the game? What impact did he have on the game? Is he a game wrecker? Absolutely. Strip, sack, fumble? Nothing like it. But liability in all other phases? Does that actually help your team win? Or now we're just praising you for the splash plays that you can't create?
So that's where I'm worried about on the defensive ends when I'm saying is that they can disappear and not maybe affect a play and maybe not be involved in the play at all. But if that corner messes up on about any pass play, it's touchdown. Somebody or a big play or something. So, like, I love the defensive ends like you're saying, but I'm not saying don't pick them. There's going to be like 5 or 6 probably picked in the first round. But that corner that can shut down a whole side of the field or one guy in today's NFL with 5 guys running around every pass play, I'm still leaning on that corner.
Yeah, and like you take a guy for like JTT for Ohio State, I think his run grade was like around 90. You know, you want a DN that can rush the passer and play the run, definitely, especially with the a lot of these quarterbacks running that.
Well, with you guys stopping
read
Ohio
option.
State, is it more important to have a defensive end against them or a corner that can hang with Jeremiah Smith? Like that defensive end get blocked and just throw it deep to Jeremiah.
I know.
I don't know. All right, we'll talk about that. All right, let's see. Bills, anything? Oh, Cowboys, 10 o'clock last night. Tom, the name Brian Schottenheimer, offensive coordinator, the head coach.
Is that Marty's son?
Yes.
Yes.
A 10 p.m. Friday dump for Jerry Jones. Terry, 9 years ago, it was 9 years ago we sat in this room and I said I'm pulling for the Cleveland Browns. Because that man is not trying to win football games. And here we are 9 years in. Didn't get any head coaching candidate that anybody else wanted. Brian Schottenheimer's offenses in 14 years, he's had 4 top 10 offenses. I don't know what he's going to do or what they're going to do, but they got to fix the roster. Like, you just can't just bring in, I assume, Terry, just the offensive coordinator. Now everything's better.
Here's what I hope is they trade up to Cleveland's number 2 and just give us a windfall of picks for that number 2 pick so they can get Sam.
Well, the thing about Jerry, and like he's always said, tell me, and there was somebody showing the clip from 8 years ago, him saying, tell me the check I have to write to get a Super Bowl, and I'll write it. Well, Deion Sanders is sitting right there.
Yeah. Here's
Pete Carroll's sitting right there.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick's sitting right there.
Pete Carroll's going to the Raiders.
And he could write whatever check he wants to get all 3 of those.
Here's the quote.
And he hired the offensive coordinator for what?
From ESPN that I read this morning. What was the point of moving on from McCarthy to promote his offensive coordinator?
I don't know.
What was the point? Where do you get? And you were about to show it, Kevin. So I don't want to steal your thunder about the. But yeah, I don't.
Jerry Jones wants the most malleable coach he can have.
No, he is another yes coach.
Another,
That's
well,
all
good
he's
luck.
got.
Good luck trying to make the wild card weekend.
No.
Good luck trying to make the wild card.
All 15 teams in the NFC have made the NFC Championship game. Now the Redskins have since '96, except the Dallas Cowboys.
They have the longest streak in the NFC of not making the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
The Carolina Panthers killed them over here and ended them with Aitman and all them. I thought they'd win that game, and that was basically the end of that. And they and then from that point on, it's been Jerry's little thing to make it all about him. When firing Jimmy Johnson, they're lucky they had the talent they have. And Switzer is a decent coach, and he won a Super Bowl.
He and Aikman did not gel.
I don't know if they win that Super Bowl without re-signing Deion Sanders.
No, they
though.
don't. They don't. Well,
So,
that was picked.
I'm not sure.
That was Deion's first
I
year.
can't say they don't. They got Emmett Smith on the team,
But
it's
Deion
not-
cutting down half the field for the Steelers. I mean, the interception that
correct. It just depends which team he was on. If he was still in San Francisco,
Made Larry Brown awful
that's
good.
different.
If he's still with the Niners, I think the Niners
made
go
Larry
back.
Brown
Right.
awful good.
If he's in Philadelphia, it might not mean anything. So I don't know. I can't say they wouldn't have made the Super Bowl, but Deion coming to them made a big difference, and it was all about the show then. So I don't know, Terry. Like, I don't know.
Calvin thinks that they're tanking on purpose so they can get Arch Manning next year.
Whatever.
But why is everybody so gung ho on Arch Manning? Have we seen this
Yes.
kid really play an entire season?
Other
yet?
than his name, I mean,
he might be. I'm not saying he's not, but we're all like tanking to get a kid who hasn't really been the guy yet,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So I mean, it's just like let's see. Now everybody's expecting a big year out of Texas next year, and they think they're one of the. It would not surprise me if they win the national championship next year, but it's one of those things where let's see the kid play.
Yeah.
Let's see him do it when it matters, and then we can draft him number 1. He may go 16-0 next year. I mean, and that's fine. But
San Francisco drafted Trey Smith a few years ago. We saw where that went. I mean,
I'm just telling
Dallas
you,
knows firsthand where that went.
I'm just telling you, man. Be careful. Be careful.
I
with
can't say
falling
anything
in
about a
love.
contract.
Be careful.
They
Falling
said
in
the
love.
money's not the greatest in the world, but
I
he's
don't-
moving him up.
So they haven't announced it yet.
No.
Yeah, it's not going to be a lot. 'Cause
Jerry doesn't. He's never
He's
paid
not-
buyouts for coaches.
Right.
He don't pay coaches.
No.
He just he wants it to be about him.
he doesn't
and
even like
nobody.
to have large staffs.
Because if he brought in Pete,
No, he don't want large.
if he
staff.
brought in Carroll or
That's what he said.
Belichick or Dion, they would get the credit.
Yeah.
100%. He does not want someone else getting the credit that he wants. And that's all it's
He
about.
didn't learn the lesson from Jimmy Johnson.
Fossils already left. I mean, those people that we're losing.
What's,
he tried to be a genius starting a rookie
Fossil's
against
still
Aaron
around?
Rodgers.
No.
Fossil was on
His
here?
son, John.
Yeah,
The special teams coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who-
The really
left.
good, really good special.
Who's the
teams
defense? Who was the Vikings' former coach? That's the defensive coordinator.
Zimmer.
Yeah, he's non-committal.
No.
He's not said whether he's coming back or not.
I mean, I hope he brings Harris back. I like Harris, but I mean, I don't know, guys.
I mean, why did
sit
you
here and I wonder what we're doing? But I
Why did we get rid of McCarthy for the status quo? I
Yeah.
don't understand. I do not get it.
and maybe it'll be the thing that he needs. I just don't know. I mean,
The only argument that can be made is maybe wanting a different voice at the top. But
didn't sign Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
You didn't go after any of the big coaches. He's the guy that wants
and
to.
it's bad when I'm sitting here. And the other day when I heard Carroll's name come up, I said, "Go get him." And I don't like Carroll at all.
right.
But he's a good coach.
Yeah.
He's the guy that wants the
Pete the cheat.
Jerry is the guy that wants to be able to pick the guy off the fantasy waiver wire and pretend he's the genius and not
Well,
actually pay for the good
If
player.
you're a Cowboys fan, we produce winners. That's what we do.
Excuse me.
That's
Sorry?
what we do.
for other teams.
Not in the past couple decades.
We produce winners. And, when you got Micah Parsons, these guys are not playing in Dallas to be on a losing squad that never makes playoffs.
Well,
But they are.
Time out.
I know.
Time out real quick. Micah and Des Bryant got into it this week. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Micah's got a talk show, and he said something about the old players needed to take better accountability, and Des is like, "What you talking about? You're the leader in the clubhouse now. You take accountability, not me." And then they started going back and forth talking about leadership and management and stuff. So I don't know what's going on with Micah, but him and Des, they all got into it back and forth about it, and I think Des was making great points. Like Micah, like you're the one there.
I was about to say, what do these former people have to do with it?
What am I supposed to do? You go upstairs and talk to Jerry. I can't. What am I supposed to do? Commanders and Eagles. Terry, no Cowboys. 30 years. NFC championships. And now Jerry's got to watch the Redskins and Eagles
Your division's represented very well in the NFC
play
championship.
an NFC championship game.
I put out
And
the
then
people.
all this means is if the Bills win, we know they're going to lose because there's the NFC East.
That's so bad, is it not? But that's the two teams that I still have on my picks that are still going
And
to
the
get there.
Eagles are the only one not to beat the Bills yet. So that might be the Bills' saving grace. They
That
might
will be what
could beat
happens
the
here.
Eagles. So.
Eagles win, Bills win their first one. But the NFC East again has proven we are the best division in the NFL.
All right, Commanders and Eagles, Tom. Thoughts on this one? Who you got?
Well, eventually the clock's got to strike midnight on Jaden Daniels.
We thought it was going to be last week, man.
I mean,
he is having
the rookie quarterback winning playoff games on the road. It's like that's why I picked against him last week. I'm like, no way he's going to Detroit and beating them on the road, and he did it.
Yeah.
So
Time out real quick. Let's stop.
All right, I'll stop.
Credit. Kevin was right. Everybody say it together about Detroit. I'm always right.
Can we do this when you're wrong?
Kevin's always well. No. Here's the thing. I make season long and year long and 9-year predictions, and it takes so long for me to be right that I can't say nothing. So when it is right, after years of Detroit's never going to win, it's just I didn't get any text this weekend. I was just waiting for that. Hey Kevin, you're right about Detroit.
I forgot that
we didn't win we didn't win a single playoff game. No, we didn't win a championship. We didn't win a single playoff game. Let's see. Tom's got Detroit win the Super Bowl over Buffalo. Terry's got Detroit winning 2 games. Chip's got Detroit winning 2 games. Kevin's got Detroit losing the first game. Ha! What a surprise.
Well done,
How about
Kevin.
them lines?
Well done, Kevin.
Now, Tom, back to your Commanders.
I get to talk. I get to talk now. Okay, so I'll just.
I was running out of time. I had to get my lines. I didn't get a text all weekend about the lines.
Eagles cover at home. The clock strikes. Has got to strike midnight on this rookie quarterback. No way he goes into Philadelphia and wins.
Robbie Root, you can't let me down this week. I got the Eagles. Commanders should not be there.
Speaking of predictions for the long haul, I made the prediction earlier in the year, around the draft time, that Jaden Daniels is my favorite player in the draft. He was a successful quarterback. He came out guns blazing. Wouldn't be right for me if I jumped off that horse now. He proved me wrong last week. I thought Detroit was the best team in the NFC by far, and boy, he sure proved me wrong.
He's top 5 in the league easily as a rookie.
He what he's doing is phenomenal, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep riding that train. Commanders with the upset make it to the Super Bowl with the rookie quarterback.
Oh, you done lost your mind. Eagles gonna win this game. Barkley's gonna have a $150. They're gonna blow them out, 42 to 10.
The Eagles defense will be ready.
And then I'll cut this next week. But yeah, I you know what pisses me off about the Eagles is they got a reversed logo, and you can go it either way, and it doesn't matter. And they insist on their logo being the only one that faces that way.
And my deal with the Commanders, you stop Barkley. I don't think you can.
No. Good job, Giants. Way to go. Bills and Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 2.5 in Arrowhead. $205.6 for that. $650 in Philly. Tommy?
Please, somebody beat Patrick Mahomes. Josh, please beat them. I'm worried about the injuries on the Bills side, but they had some guys go down in that game. I'm worried about them being a little thin in the secondary, but I'm just saying, please find a way to beat him. I'm tired of looking at State Farm commercials. Please beat him.
He's won 3 Super Bowls, right?
Buffalo covers that spread today. I think they win outright. Money line, baby. If you're betting, money line, Buffalo is a winner.
And no team in the NFL is going to win 3. Buffalo wins and the Chiefs are out. And then they're going to start talking about, is this the demise of the Kansas City Chiefs?
Last year I picked against the Chiefs every playoff game because I figured either I was going to be right or my team was going to win. My heart says the Chiefs. My brain wants to say the Bills, but doggone it, there's just something about Pat to stick with them, Chiefs.
I got the winner of this game win the Super Bowl, whichever one it is. I'm going to pick the Chiefs. I don't want them to win it, but whatever. I don't want them to win the 3 straight because, Terry, I'm seeing things online about Patrick Mahomes. If he wins 3 straight, makes him the greatest.
I think it puts him in the debate.
Well, you can have all the debate all you want, but at what point does this guy yesterday on the internet said 4 with 3 in a row is better than 7?
No, I don't think it's that cut and dry. No.
That's what he said.
No, I disagree.
Here's funny. His name was Kevin something other. So I responded, that's some LeBron math. And then another guy named Kevin said, what are you talking about, dude? It's 7 championships over 4. And he said something dumb back again and said 5 with this or whatever. And I just responded, 2 out of 3 Kevins think the other one doesn't know how to do math.
Nice.
So anyway, that's the generation we live in. LaMelo's better than everybody.
It will be interesting if he does it to say he's did something no other quarterback ever did.
Put him in the conversations all you want. Okay, if you want to say that puts him past Montana, we'll have that conversation with the three-peat. But come on now, this whole Brady, and you're not even to 5.
Yeah.
You're not to 6.
I mean, that's fair.
He's got 7. Can you beat 7? Why did Brady have to beat Montana?
Right.
They didn't give it to Troy Aikman when he won 3.
Right.
They said the offensive line won the damn thing. It's okay.
Yeah.
So whatever. Anyway.
Our buddy Zach Mayhew in Gaffney, who's picking us up on the radio, says, "Go Redskins."
There you go.
No, well, they won't win it because they don't have the Redskins logo. That'll happen next year when Trump gives it back to them.
We miss you, Zach.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next week for the Get Folks Online. I'm going to try to let you guys explain what's on the table with those bananas. See you later, JP, KDCBroadcasting.com.